Sound is
3, 2,
on.
1.
Go!
Alright. 3,
And
2,
we're
alright,
back.
Hawkinson
never
says, so dead at work.
mind. Alright, we're starting.
He's here.
All right. Hello, and welcome to our stream of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I am the Dungeon Master, Mad Wolf, and I am joined by our hosts, Joe DePro and Double Whammy. Immortal Studious has off the job.
He's been
My OBS still ain't working for some reason.
I am also joined by Immortal Studious, Don Tav, and London Fog. And this stream isn't necessarily intended to be viewed. We use it as an archive to help the more attention-deprived of us remember all of the threads to this campaign. And, yeah, we've been collectively playing together since the pandemic, so I can't stress this enough. We are not professionals, but we are mildly entertaining. So if you like the stories we tell here, go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe to either of our streamers' channels, and come hang out with us. We stream live every Sunday afternoon, where we aim for 6 to 7 at this point.
Oh, sorry.
There's London Fog with a grand entrance. Now that legal is out of the way, let's tell a story, shall we? Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a recap.
Really take up the leaderboards.
The group known as the Serious Six is on their way to help Lady Violet take back an area of the deadly wilds known as the Dreadlands. Specifically, a town once known as the Dual Towers. Once taking this, Lady Violet and her captain of the guard, Dale Galahad, assure the people that they can defend it against the terrors deeper in the Dreadlands. But for them to do this, they need allies. So the Duchess of Riston sent the party to gather as many as possible. We find them now on their way to Freeport, a neutral city in Gaianespa. And after this small mishap in Vidoba, where they uncovered a nefarious plot to somehow discredit Lady Violet, they were able to wrap that up in a couple of days, and they continued on to Swampview to catch a boat to Freeport. So, and that's where we picked them up on their journey to Swampview. All right, I am going to need someone who is taking point to chart a course here. You are,
Are we gonna give it to Zag, or do we want to have some fun? Give it to somebody with, not always the best.
I don't have...
If you say survival, we're screwed.
You are a survival guy.
Yes, you are a survival guy.
Was that really?
Yeah.
I don't know how we ever made it.
Uriah's
I'm
been
good at
around
it.
here. If Uriah wants to roll.
No, I'm good at it.
Go on.
I'll take point.
give me a survival check.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. 21.
Roll that.
21.
After waking up in the morning and reading the letter.
What
and
letter?
The letter from Johnny.
Funny.
Too soon.
After waking up in the morning, reading the letter, gathering your belongings, there is a somber moment where you all gather up your things, make sure the fire is dead, and continue on your way. With 21, you are able to traverse the terrain, and you succeed. You don't fail. It wasn't a hard check, but you do not gain any time. It takes you
The exact
2
amount.
days. It takes you a full 2 days, 2.5 days from Vidoba to reach Malsha.
I would say on the way to Malsha. Zag's leading you, but like at a distance, you can kind of like you occasionally see him like put his hand to his face and like he swore you hear sniffling, and anytime you guys ask, he says, "No, I'm cool, man." And just occasionally, you hear a little crack in his voice. "No, I'm cool, man." Where did you go?
Listen, I I
I
can
told you I'm
get.
fine. It's all right, man. You're
I
good.
understand if everyone's sad about Johnny, but think about it, the good thing. He had a bounty on his head. Might get everyone killed here. And he might have had dogs bark at him. I don't know.
It's just going. Just keep going. Also, are we fully healed? By the way,
No.
we spent 3 days and we're not fully healed.
You are correct, sir. You can press the rest button. It is if you open up your
Three
I can
different
do it,
times.
twice. It's 2.5 days.
Oh, it's down the third day. Like with
You are on the
Right,
third day.
right.
You haven't rested yet, so you can press it
times.
twice.
We basically full
Uh,
HP at that point.
No, we're not.
We,
Especially
as
me.
in me.
Me.
Dr. Reed, it is
Yes.
it is a little the little bed. If you open up your character, it is the little bed. You click
Right
on it.
underneath max HP, you'll see a
My
bed.
my internet is lagging
Okay, I can do it for you.
for reasons I cannot control. I'm trying to get it.
GM,
I got you.
possibly.
I got
Could
you.
we have said on those 2 days of travel, maybe Dr. Reed gives a checkup.
A boost in our HP gain or something like
Takes
that.
10 minutes.
If Dr. Reed takes the time to do this, it will take longer.
Bro, it's 10 minutes a day. You're gonna give us an extra 20 minutes?
It's actually not 10 minutes. It's 20 minutes. Technically, it's 30 minutes because it's the 10 minutes that you're not traveling and the 10 minutes that you're sitting still, and then the 10 minutes to make up. That's why that's why your GPS runs up the numbers when you stay still for too long.
See, so you're all just trying to piss me off. That's alright. Alright, we'll keep
No.
going.
I'm off the blood tonight.
Somebody in Dr. Reed's
100% just trying to piss me off. Alright.
Wanderer's Guide.
Say again.
Somebody in Dr. Reed's character profile.
Probably.
We're not using Wanderer's Guide anymore. Everything is on it's on Foundry.
That would explain.
I still use it.
I don't think it. Okay. Why?
But yeah, yes, we can go ahead and do that if you'd like. We can have Dr. Reed, if you want to take medicine checks, you can roll 2 separate medicine checks, and then did you want to roll at a master, expert, or trained DC?
Master.
So the master, the DC is 30, so you have to beat a 30.
Sure. Let's do it. I don't think my internet's working.
Okay, you can roll. Just roll physical dice. That's fine.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm surprised that the that Discord's still working. Ooh. Oh, wait. Well, what's my modifier?
It's you got a plus 16.
Oh.
So as long as you can get a 14 or higher.
I did not. Sorry, fam.
What did you get?
9.
9. Okay. Well, she doesn't critically fail, but you gain no hit points. That's the first try.
Sorry, guys.
So the second try, go ahead and roll again, and you can
Roll
roll again.
against the expert.
Okay. You just have to get a 4 or better.
Here comes
Right,
Dr. Reed.
Another 9.
All right. So you all heal. 2d8 plus 10 Hold on. Actually, let me just. I think I can do this way.
You said plus 10?
Mm-hmm.
I'm healed! I'm full. Don't even matter what the dice are.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it must be nice. I want
Um,
to get 2-shot, huh?
I can go like this. Slash. Roll 2d8.
Imagine not being able to sleep twice and be fully healed.
Yeah, it's a blind sheet, right? Like,
It rolled an 8 and a 1. Done. Dang.
All right. That's what you got. I'm about midway through the second day. Midway through the third day, rather. You reach Malsha, a bustling, almost like You gather pretty quickly that Malsha is a crafting town. You've passed through the town before, but you haven't really. And again, you don't really take notice of it. You're kind of just passing through. Did you want to stay the night here, or did you want to keep moving?
How's everyone feeling? We want to pay for a tavern, inn, rooms, or sleep under the stars like we were meant to.
Oh, I'm really tired of sleeping outside. Some of you could use a bath.
Yeah, Zach, you're pretty smelly. A lot of flies coming from my armpit.
Speak for yourself, wizard boy.
Perhaps then we should stay at Moshe then. Does seem
If we-
fit.
if we do, we can tell the troops that they're not needed no more over at because we took care of them.
That's sure. That's pretty much already been taken care of. But yeah,
Oh, it has.
we can say that.
Did we pass them?
Yeah, you can say that you passed them because I mean they got message a lot faster than you. They had already left and got the message and remember all of that was a plot by the leader there. So when it's troops, like it's not really troops. And Egg went to Mulcha to chase down the lead, trying to figure out what was going on. There is a tavern. Second here. There is a. Oh boy.
I've been to Marshall before, so Zag knows a spot he can go.
Where? What's it called? What's it called, Zach?
It's hold on, wait for the big guy upstairs to tell me.
You see, Zag, but that's the thing with the old Series 6. I always like to encourage when you visit a new area, stay someplace new. If you always do the same old, it gets repetitive, and you never really explore what the town truly has to offer.
I mean, fair, but I stayed here, but I slept behind a bunch of barrels, so.
Oh,
There's only
That'll still be new.
one tavern in Malsha, and it's called the Rising Ranger.
The Rising Ranger, Abdul, that's what it's called. Greatest barrels you can sleep behind. Well, we'll be sleeping inside of them now, but.
inside
be
of
sleeping
the
inside of a bed.
barrels.
No, I meant a bed.
2 beds in here on barrels? Never mind. You're very confusing sometimes, you know that.
No, I just think you're too slow. Alright, no,
Yes,
it's.
As you approach the city, it is a bright, sunny day, but you do clock in the Thalrin Mountains off in the distance. Um, you guys would know that continuing south, you will pass Ravenwood, but you have to actually trek out of your way to go to Ravenwood, and that sits at the base of the Thalrin Mountains, where Riverhold is. If you're going to go into Prahedron, that way. You notice that there is an increased military presence here, not just the Roughnecks in Malsha, but like the first thing that you notice is there are actual Dominion soldiers here, not just the Roughnecks. Um, and these soldiers, they don't really pay you any mind, although there are a few of them that kind of eye you a little bit. Abdul, just there you
Abdul
get it
going in, he would put his mask up and then all that stuff. He'd put his
right. So they wouldn't. Would you say that you would hide your catfolk features? Is that
yeah.
what you're saying? Okay. So they pay you no mind. They do. You do get a couple of curious stares, Zag. But goblins are fairly common in Riston at this point, so um, people know goblins and they know the Egg Snatcher clan and the Goblin Courier Service, and so you kind of get like one of those like, hey, check it out, it's one of the Goblin Couriers, hey, and they wave to you, and you kind of wave back, and um, the buildings are built with a simple kind of um, uh, simple construction, wood and thatch roofs. You notice that there is kind of some lazy smoke drifting off of some of the rooftops, as it is still cool outside, but it is now spring. The um, In the distance over the mountains, you can see dark, ominous clouds that appear to be drifting inland. So, although today is nice, you gather that the next few days there may be rain.
Are they
Um,
green?
no,
Does it look like hail?
no.
If I that night, GM, I don't know if you're gonna just go on to the next night or whatnot. Was that the plan? I don't want to interrupt you.
Well, I'm going to paint the tavern,
Oh, fuck.
but
Go for it. Go on, good.
okay. Um, You, as you guys approach the Rising Ranger, you see a very neatly stacked bunch of crates and barrels outside. Everything is kind of organized. You see this nice hand carved sign that you see basically a silhouette of a man with an outstretched arm and a bow in his hand, kind of like this. And behind him, you see
Falco.
this gleaming light of a rising sun behind him, and it says Rising Ranger. As you walk into the tavern,
And music. Oh.
Oh, okay. You never know anymore.
as you walk into the tavern, the smell of ale and roasting meat fill your nose. The dimly lit room is packed with patrons, their voices raised in laughter and conversation, as this is what is considered the midday rush. It is still early spring, and it is not yet time to plant or get their crops ready. The ground is still considered a bit too cold, so the people of this small town are all together, sitting and talking in the tavern here. There's a bard in the corner, strumming on his lute, his voice carrying over the din of the crowd. As he finishes his song, you hear a few grumbles from some of the patrons. They seem to be displeased with the bard's choice in music. Suddenly, someone throws a mug at the bard, narrowly missing his head. The bard, a thin man with inset eyes and dark hair that flows over his shoulders, seems to be the mirror image of Don, if Don was a human. with dark raven black hair that kind of cascades straight down, and dark inset eyes. He stops playing and turns to face the group, a look of confusion and surprise on his face. The patrons start shouting at him, demanding that he play something else. The bard, eager to please, starts playing a new tune. This one is about Riston, about an old myth, an old oh my gosh, the word escapes me now.
Tale?
A tale, yes, a song about an old battle. You heard similar pieces in Vigo. You even heard Jakas sing one of these older tales. But this one is even more aggravating to the patrons than the last, and they erupt in anger. On narrowly getting into the door, you encounter pretty much a bar fight as chairs start flying across the room and patrons begin to brawl. You see fists flying and people ducking for cover, tables being overturned, and the bard is forced to flee out the back door as the fight spills towards you and into the street. Very quickly, you guys make your leave, exit out of the door, and the fight pulls into the street, fists flying, people yelling and screaming. You watch from a safe distance, careful not to get involved, unless you wish to.
I knew you were gonna nod your head.
This is for Johnny! No.
This is absolute anarchy. How uncivilized.
I know, right?
Drunken
I
fool.
run in there and just like haymaker the closest dude.
Okay.
Wait for me!
Will not
And
shoot
she's
that
just,
level.
she's just like, how uncivilized. I know, right? Boom!
As soon as he goes, Zach's been like sad, and he looks at Uriah, and he sees Uriah do that. He says, "Oh, oh, oh, me too!" And he goes on. He goes in after, like, sweeps a guy's leg.
Abdul is
go ahead.
standing. I don't know how. I'm imagining it's kind of like a porch on the front of this tavern. Abdul is standing next to the porch and sees his two comrades just jump in as Uriah freezes. And he looks to Dr. Reed and says, I don't understand the point of drawing so much attention to people. I don't. These northerners, I don't get it. And Abdul's just gonna stay in the shadows and not get in the fight.
There is a space up on this kind of porch area. Again, all of the crates and the barrels and whatnot are stacked very neatly, and you can kind of step up next to them and stay out of it. The fight spilling out in the street, there's only like 3 people there. I think Mossy's frozen.
Hey,
That's it.
Yeah.
freaking, he got haymakered back so hard.
Stunned him.
Freaking stunned him.
There he is. There's only like 3 or 4 people in outside. You hear more stuff, more people fighting inside. But Don, are you getting involved or not?
Dawn would have actually been off to the side with Abdul and Dr. Reed. And, you know, hold on. I think you're both right. I think the best way to hit him where it really hurts, the coin purse. And Dawn's gonna try to slip inside and see if any of the drunkards left a coin purse lying around.
Okay. You
There it
can
is.
roll a perception check, and I need Uriah and Zag both to make attack rolls with your fists.
Oh god. Non-lethal, I hope.
Oh. Okay. No.
Jesus, Zag.
That crits. Go ahead and click critical.
Yeah, obviously non-lethal.
Ooh.
And frost damage.
Yeah, it's non-lethal, but it's also frost damage. um, that crits as well. Go ahead and click critical.
Nice. That's that
Are you
boy.
serious?
Nice. You roll a one.
Oh my God.
I'm switching over that map for that one. That's
Oh,
That's
map?
crazy.
Let me get this straight. So we see this massive guy going for a haymaker. It barely hits. And it cracked him so hard, but it's like,
no,
He's-
Oh, it hits.
you hit and you hit him like right in the jaw. But the guy you just kind of like, I know, right? The guy you choose to hit is a big farmer, like a big boy. He's got to be like 6
Hi,
foot.
Dad.
He's got to be like 6'8", like 400 pounds.
Ah, see.
This guy is massive. And you come and you haymaker him and you
He's a hog
you hit him and he kind of like, you hit him good, but he kind of like just takes a second. Zag, you jump into the fray, scurry around, and you just go for the nearest guy, or is that what you're planning on doing?
I want
Jumping
like
into the
I was gonna leg sweep whoever was like fighting.
There's only like 3 or 4. Like I said, there's only like 4 people that spilled out into the street, but more people keep coming. So Zag, you kind of post yourself at the door. The next person comes out, and you sweep them in the leg. They hit the ground so hard it knocks them out instantly. And then the next guy tries to come out, and he's fighting. So when the next guy comes backwards through the door, he trips on the first guy's body, and he falls over. And now it is just absolute chaos. With your roll, Don, you find like there's a guy that just gets punched so hard he spins and hits onto a table, and when he does, the table kind of shifts. And that table, there was a coin pouch on, and the coin pouch shifts from one side to the other, and several coins go under the floor and roll, and you see several coins, couple of gold pieces, couple of silver pieces rolling all over the floor. What do you do?
Nona kind of looked down at it, just think to himself, nice and easy, nice and easy. Just try to, waltz his way through the fighting, try to snatch the purse, kind of make it look like he's in the action, but not really in the fight.
Okay, I need you to make a deception check. All right. Dang.
We're gonna get screwed the second we get into the next
So
fight.
you kind of stumble around. You kind of start acting like you're in the fight, but you act like you almost look like you're drunk from other people's perspective. And so they come up to you and they're like, "Oh no, he's had enough," and they turn around and they start fighting somebody else. You waltz over to where are you going after the coins?
I think you said the coin purse.
Go after the coin purse. See if there's anything
Go
left
after
in
the
that.
coin purse. Okay, now I need a thievery check to grab the coin purse. Meanwhile, on the outside, you guys still technically have 2 more actions on your turn. So go ahead and tell me what you do with them.
You're right, guys.
Should I do a perception check?
Sure.
I
just
want
got
to tackle a guy, but like tackle him into the direction of Zag.
Give me an athletics check to grapple the big guy in front of you.
The big guy. I okay.
Yeah,
He's the nearest guy
specify.
to you. That's all
Nearest
you
guy.
It's all right. Athletics check. You said right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You
What'd
and
you get
Zach.
there, Dr. Reed?
Well, this is
Okay,
my first
well,
time
that is
using
good.
Foundry.
Okay.
So could you just tell me how I do
So you
that on
open up,
Foundry?
you open up your character. You open up your character
So,
sheet.
Yep. I got
and
it.
then you're gonna go to the little hand. So the little hand at the top of the screen. That's proficiencies. Little hand that looks like this.
I don't think that has perception. Perception's
Got
on the
it.
left side underneath health.
Oh, perception is. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. You're right. So perception is. This is where you see all your skills. To roll a skill, you just click on the number and it rolls it.
So it's right underneath AC. You'll see the blue shield AC, and then right
Oh,
below you see
perception?
perception. Yes.
You click on. You're gonna click on the eye with the line through it for a perception check.
Okay. Did it do it?
And
Sorry.
should be one
Oh,
more
wait a
button to
second.
click.
It's some settings.
Yeah, you
Oh,
just
wait,
click
no.
blue roll. That's all you
You
click.
just click the blue roll
Okay.
plus whatever.
Okay.
There it is. All right.
All right, cool.
So Uriah, you grab the guy and you roll and tug at him. And this guy is a big boy. So you pull him, and then you grapple him, and the grapple succeeds. You spin him around towards Zag, but you don't realize the spinning motion is also a pulling motion, and then you kind of look back up, and you just see the shadow of this guy coming down for you, and you have enough time to go. As he falls onto you.
When was the last time that guy bathed?
Ooh.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Poison damage.
You suffer.
No
gonna
burns,
roll
nose
here.
hair damage.
I'm gonna just go here. This big boy, I'll do this. 4 points of bludgeoning damage as he falls on top of you.
Dang.
But
Almost weighs
there
as
is
much
now
as
a
Betsy.
pile. There is now a pile of bodies in the doorway. There is now a dog pile of bodies in the doorway. Dr. Reed, what exactly are you looking for?
Oh, I'm just looking at. I guess I'm just looking for police or. No, I'm looking. Well, yes, I'd like to notice who maybe started the fight or what they're fighting over. Like what's going on. I just want to know what's going on and know.
So they're fighting.
maybe how to stop it.
They've escalated from the Bard's choice in music. So you know that. But you rolled really terribly on the roll. You rolled a natural 2. So other than that, you have no idea.
Okay.
You have no idea what worked these people up. But for that kind of thing, to see like what worked them up, I would say society would be a better option.
Oh, okay.
So you go ahead and roll a society check as well if you'd
I
like.
would absolutely love that.
Don, you reach the table, no problem. You weave in and out, and you grab the purse. And as you do, there is a guy who gets punched in the face, and he kind of staggers back. And as he staggers back, he kind of bumps into you. And you're like, huh! You throw the purse up, and he bumps into you, and the purse falls right on his chest as he kind of... Hey!
I'm just gonna try. I don't know what this would be, but just like spin him. Not even just like torch him, but just like give him a good spin, you know?
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we good. We're alright.
You take him and spin him easy enough. He spins around and he's like, "Hey!" And then your vision you see him, and then all of a sudden a blurry image kind of comes into focus behind him of the guy that had just punched him coming in for another, and you're like, "Oh crap!" And you move, and this guy gets punched in the back of the head, and he drops the purse, and as you duck out of the way, you reach out with your hand like behind you, and the purse just lands right to your hand, and you skedaddle for the door.
Tuck it in and just go for the door.
So, you said the door is filled, right? Like with bodies? And, like,
Yes.
You can't get the... Is there windows?
Sure. Yeah.
Abdul is going to, Dr. Reed's looking around. Abdul's going to, while she's looking around, turn, walk over, pull out a dagger, and try to just use it to pop open the window just to climb through to get into the bar, the tavern, without going through that chaos.
So you want to
I-
open the window?
Yes.
And
Okay.
Dr. Reed, because she rolled so bad on her perception and she's just very distracted by everything she's going, like she's talking, she's actively talking to you, and she's like, this is just ridiculous, and why? And
Yeah.
Abdul,
Abdul lifts up. You lift up the window easily enough. You want to try to
Abdul
climb through?
comes. Are you coming through? Yeah, I want to climb through.
All right, give me an acrobatics check to squeeze. Dr. Reed, with your society check, you have a pretty good idea that there was some controversial lyrics. The political nature of what's going on right now in Gaianesta in the Dominion is kind of weird, and the bard was singing about a uh, a group of people that stood up against basically the powers that be, the nobility, the corporations, the the powers, the big picture, the they revolted basically, and they won. And it is an ancient song from a long time ago from a kingdom that doesn't even exist anymore. But just kind of the idea of it being this close to Prehedron, which there are rumors that Prehedron is going to cede from the Dominion. The person who threw the mug was a Dominion soldier, and the person who threw the first punch was also a Dominion soldier.
that's very unsoldier-like.
Separate people.
Interesting. Two different people. I see. Maybe I should follow Abdul. Maybe can I follow Abdul, or do I not see him? Truly.
Abdul comes back over. Do you want to go this way, or do you want to just fight your way through like a
Coming.
brute? Abdul's just gonna hold the. I want to give an aid to the acrobat check or whatever to hold
I'm
up
pretty
the
decent.
window.
I'm pretty decent. So, I mean, you gotta give me. Who knows? I might roll right crap. There you go.
Yeah, she's fine. Hopefully, 19 to come
Yep.
through a window on the same floor.
You slip through the window pretty easily while retaining your dignity as a lady. And at this point, Zag, we're gonna say that the big guy hasn't exactly fallen on Uriah yet. Your kind of turn happens simultaneously, but all of this is kind of happening all at the same time. So, two people stuck in the doorway, and you still have like 2 actions left. What are you gonna do?
Do I notice a big old looming shadow coming my way?
Yep.
All right, can I look, yelp, and then reflex out of the way?
Sure. Do me a reflex save.
Oh no. Where is my? Oh, that's the stream. That's why. Me, this. Nope, this. Hand. Reflex. No, it's right there. I'm a moron. Bow.
Nice. As you dodge out of the way, this guy, and you just see Uriah. Boom.
Like, is there a railing? Someone like, ow! Then jump on the railing and be like, oof.
Yeah, you head up like the way that the porch wraps around the front of this building. There is a bit of a railing that has bars that stretch across it that are I say bars, but they are more like wooden tie points for horses. And you kind of jump up on one of those.
Oof. All right. Think I have my fill, and then I'm gonna like hop over the bodies and walk inside.
Okay. You guys, Abdul, Dr. Reed, as you get inside, you find a corner. You actually, where the window empties out at, is kind of behind the bar. So you see the barmaid, who is a spindly little girl, who is probably 80 pounds soaking wet, hiding behind the bar as all of this craziness. And immediately you're like, that's a good idea. And you dive kind of under the bar with her. Um, Almost at the same time, the off-duty soldiers kind of right themselves. There was a group of them in the tavern itself. Um, they kind of right themselves as a whistle is blown, and the town guard, the roughnecks, kind of show up and start. All right, breaking up the fight. Uh, as this whistle is blown, there is. Let me go like this. As this whistle is blown, most of the people that are kind of still fighting are like, all right, and there are a number of kind of obviously local town guard that come in and start talking to the patrons. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you causing this ruckus? What is going on here? Um, Within about 20 minutes, they have the tavern, the patrons kind of settled down, and the fight has stopped. Um, they break it up. The tavern still looks chaotic, but it hasn't been destroyed or hasn't been ruined. And you all can't help but wonder what caused such a violent reaction to such a simple song. At the end of this, they start writing the kind of the town guards is kind of taking the lead. Is like, all right, you better than this. Now listen, you lot get to clean up this mess. Oh, come on, we're just having a bit of fun. Yeah. And now you did the crime, so you do the time. Come on, pick up them chairs and tables. Who's gonna clean this? Who's gonna clean all this? Come on, yeah, you get up over there. And he points at Uriah, who has been lifted up in this pile of bodies, and is like, "Yeah, you help him out. You." He points at Don, who was found inside. You, come on, help him out. You were part of this too. Meanwhile, Zag, and then just by happenstance and quick moving, um, the I'm sorry. Just by happenstance and quick moving, quick thinking, Dr. Reed and Abdul aren't involved in the cleanup. Um, they go to like try to get Zag to do anything and do something, and then one of the other guards is like, no, he's a goblin courier. He wouldn't be involved in this, right? You wouldn't be involved in anything like this, would you?
I would
Little
never.
guy?
I wouldn't. No, never. No.
See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. And you see this particular, he's one of the roughnecks. He kind of gives you a bit of a wink.
Abdul asked the bartender if she's like feels safe. Um, that he would like a table, um, and a cup of milk, and one milk, and he would like, I believe he's like wine for Don. What does Dr. Reed want? What would Dr. Reed drink at least?
Dr. Reed drink? That's a good question. What do you think Dr. Reed would drink? I know what she is. She's a gin. She's a gin and tonic. Because she's properly British.
With lime, lemon. I mean, he would get a gin and tonic, and
in this farming town, they have no gin.
Oh,
dang.
fine. Then I will. I look at Abdul. Well, when in Rome, I suppose you don't know what Rome is. I'll take your finest ale. Thank you.
So, I don't understand these places you speak of. And he gets ale, and he'll get water, and then water, and then like, yeah, and then he'll just bring it to the table. as he brings it over to the table to sit down, he goes and the chairs are all knocked over, and he goes, is somebody going to pick this up so I can sit down? I look at all these guys who are like, still.
Yeah.
uh, uh,
Make a diplomacy. Make a deception or intimidation check. Your choice.
Your choice. There you
Deception.
One of them kind of nearby looks at you and kind of gives you a curious look, like almost like he's going to get upset at you, and then he sees right next to you Dr. Reed, very proper, the way that she dresses, very neat and tidy. And you kind of get the sense that he gets the idea that maybe you're nobility. And so right, sure, my lord. And then he grabs a chair and he puts it up for you, and he grabs the other chairs and he kind of like tidies up the table real quick. Our apologies, sometimes being all the way out here, we like to blow off some steam every once in a while, but
Thank you. And I take the chair and I flip it, and I sit on it like that.
he does the Riker maneuver.
I do the right move.
go. The leg up.
You don't have to pick up them other ones. Just these two and maybe one more. Just leave the other ones there. We have some friends that are joining us. They can pick up their own chairs.
The cleaning still keeps going on. There are several chairs, tables that there get righted, and people are paying for their damages that they've done, mugs that are broken, food that has been spoiled. You see one guy individual kind of stands out. That's like, my coin purse. I had it. I swear. And he kind of like is patting it down, looking around for it. Don, you can add 32 gold.
God
32 gold, 6 silver, and 7 copper to your inventory.
Sheesh.
Abdul is I think the man that ran out took your coin purse.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me! And he runs out the door.
And then I want to kick I want to get up and I want to pick up one chair and set it up for Don, and I want to sit back down.
Don, you also find in that coin purse, you find a scrunched up little note that is like this guy was some sort of merchant, and it was some kind of dealings that he was doing, but I take it that you won't look at it right now.
Yeah. We'll save that for later.
But just in case I forget, just remind me of what that note says. You let me know when you want to take a look at it, I should say. All right, you managed to kind of the chaotic nature of the cleaning of the tavern kind of starts calming down, and people start to settle down a bit. And at this point, the bard is gone. He doesn't dare show his face back again. So there's no music. But there is there is food if you guys wish to order, or if you guys.
How many rations do you want us to take out?
How
many total
you've
days
been gone
has it been?
for a week, so we'll say, and you guys didn't eat anywhere else, so we'll say you take a ration.
Okay. So I do rations by
Every however many you have is a week's worth of food, basically.
okay. I hope I have.
Oh wow, you
You
use
did
rations.
Ration. Here we go.
That's cool.
it, Zach.
Wouldn't
My
it
bad.
be like a full week, so like a full 7?
So no. So one ration is 1 week's worth of ration.
Yeah.
So just
if
use
you,
one for a week.
yeah, you just take off one every week.
Alright.
And you guys haven't really done like since leaving Vigo, and then the time that you were in Vidoba, and then traveling there. It's been about a week, and I'll say you guys hadn't stopped for food or at any point in time.
Oh,
So yeah, you.
so no, Wanderer's Guide is different. Not Wanderer's Guide, Foundry's different. If you click use ration, you use 1 of 7.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
I see that.
the ration is 7 days a whole week. So if we've been gone a whole week, it's -1 completely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Then yes. I apologize. I didn't know that.
I was gonna say, because if that's how it worked, oh my god, I bought like 6 rations. Like, there's no way I have like 32 weeks worth of rations.
Yeah. No.
It's not. Oh wait. Nope. 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 I just used all 3 of mine.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
There's an easy way and there's a hard way.
I mean,
I'm
we're
gonna take the
fine.
hard way.
You're just gonna go hungry. So.
Go, use them
Oh,
all.
I just
God.
ate.
What?
I
Done.
just ate everything.
Hey.
I'm doing it
You
the
know-
hard way. I'm just trying to get rid of them. Thank
How
you.
do you?
You
How
go
do
to
you?
quality and quantity.
I tried that. It didn't remove it. I set it to 0 and it stayed. I was like, I'm just gonna eat them all.
So
Oof.
you said you used. How did you use 3 of them? What did you do?
I just
Jessica?
I minus too many because it wasn't loading.
I see.
I'm not impatient.
Hey, you can go over to this little thing like with a marker, edit item.
Yeah, I did it. I added them back.
You fixed
Yeah,
You fixed
there
it.
you
Okay.
go. Good lord.
I'm sorry.
No, Judah's
No,
deleting
not
this
you.
stuff.
Seriously.
I plead the 5th.
Yeah, Judah is
All right, what the heck is this now?
All right.
perfect.
How much is the drinks and the
We'll say if you guys all get a meal, they have a actually on in the interior there is a big fireplace, and right outside the fireplace, maybe there's this sixth sense about all of the people here that they were intentionally leaving this area alone because of this, but there is a massive hog roasting on this fire that has actually been carved into, and meat has been taken off of. And the hog, I mean, it is massive. It's got to be 250 pounds. This is
That's a
huge-
big old hog.
It's a big hog.
250 pounds? That's not that big of a hog.
250 pounds. That's a big hog.
That's
okay.
a big hog, boo boo.
It's like it's like a small hog.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know how hogs are up there, but hogs down here, 250 pounds is a stud. That's
so
like a small car.
the biggest hog ever is
That's not-
2,552
I
pounds.
was gonna say, I'm pretty
That's
sure
a
they
ton.
run about 500 pounds.
This is
Okay.
fantasy. This is all backwards, remember?
Fantasy,
Yeah,
yeah, that
yeah.
means like 10 times.
A wild hog is 790 pounds.
Okay,
Alright,
so
for
it's a
brevity's sake,
small
we're saying
hog.
it's
So
a
it's a
2,000 pound
small
hog.
That's a wild boar, and that is a wild pig.
Mm.
But to Zag,
Ooh.
that's a massive hog.
Zach could probably huddle inside of it,
That's
like Star Wars.
Mm.
You think
It
I
would
could
probably be
wear
able to
head?
eat Zag.
Yeah.
But at this point, that's what they have is they have this kind of roasted hog that is there,
Mhm.
and for you to eat the meal that they have prepped, the roasted hog and the ale and wine, it would cost, if you pay for everything, it would cost the party
Yeah.
2.5 gold.
But what if I'm only want hog and water?
It would
2
Getting
gold.
cheap on
per
me, Zach.
door.
2.5 gold for the whole party to eat.
Here, I got it. I got it. I got it.
And I'd pay, but it's just so distasteful for a woman to pay.
What? Where are you from?
230.
Where are you from?
1930. No, literally, she's from 1930.
No, Zag's Zag saying that to her.
Mm.
If
It's
you say 1930s, he's gonna be like, what? What?
it it
No,
is
don't worry
common
about
from where I'm from. The it's you have to pay. She makes everyone else pay.
Oh, so you said 2.5,
Yeah, 2 gold, 5 silver.
2 gold,
The meal
5
the
silver.
meal isn't great. I mean, it's just a slab of roasted hog, and then it's the drinks.
Zag gets his plate, and it's just this massive piece of meat for him. I don't think I'm gonna eat all this, guys. I'm not gonna
I
lie to you.
think you should bulk up.
I'm sure you can take
No,
it
I
down.
I have to stay. You see this? You see this body? And Zach stands up. You see this body? He starts flexing. Have to stay lean so I can be maneuverable.
The lean, mean, the crime-fighting machine.
What's a
Green machine.
machine?
It's gnomish. Never seen one?
I've never seen a machine before. That's weird.
You need to get out more, Zach.
Listen, man, I don't have free time. I was literally kept in a cage and then straight to work.
That that doesn't sound that good. Am I right, Don? That doesn't sound.
I mean, me personally, I sure wouldn't let myself be caged or anything like that, but
And then
Well,
go right to work. Kind of sounds like
no
forced labor.
balance to life.
well, I mean,
You need to work on your life balance, your work-life balance.
I'm sorry. Uh, is the cat person who nearly got all of us killed and didn't help us talking about life choices? Ah,
When did I'm confused. When did I get you killed?
almost did. You didn't help.
When?
Well,
Back at the camp.
you see, again,
What's
that's all of the balance. We're the distraction, and him, on the other hand, was rescuing the
Matter of fact,
hostages.
where were you, Don? Well, where were you? I talked to you for like 2 seconds, and I said, point it out, and then nothing.
didn't you come back to get the
Yeah,
people?
for you.
Well, you
I came
came
back
for
for
me,
you. Yeah, because
but
last I saw you, you were by the thing, and then I went over here, and then that's the last I saw you. So I got worried, and I was coming back for you.
how come Uriah and Don said that you were coming back to save the people?
Are you not part of the people?
You were saving the prisoners.
I was saving all of you.
Well, who saved the people?
You?
Oh, there you go. See, you're smart, Zach. I knew you were smart. See that work-life balance? See? We did the mission. I saved the people. Of course, you know, did the job. But got in, got out. No one seen me. While you can, uh, you know, did what you do.
All, all I'm saying
I can tell
is,
you're very upset. Can you like
all I'm saying was like,
relax?
listen, it was touch and go for
I,
a hot bowl minute.
what? This is coming from out of nowhere.
You said balance, and I'm like, if you want to talk about balance and my life balances, let's talk about the
We
party's life balances.
we're saying go out more, experience things.
How can I go out more if I'm too busy saving Johnny and y'all?
Well, you don't have to worry about that, do you? Abdul smiles and looks at him.
You know, Zach's face goes,
Yeah, at that, Don kind of just leans forward, like, just head down. Damn.
uh, now you just got to worry about saving everyone else. Oh man, this is a good talk. So what are we going to get a room here, or we're going to sleep in the barrels?
Zach just lets out this big old sigh. We don't sleep in the barrels.
Oh, I've slept in barrels before.
I slept behind the barrel. The difference
Why did you never try in? Perhaps more security?
was
Sneaky different.
I'm here for other reasons. Not to be seen reasons.
So the best place to hide would be in a barrel, no?
Behind the barrel because you can get. See, my cousin. See, that happened to one of the other couriers. He got trapped in a barrel and ended up at a weird gathering. They thought the barrel was full of ale, and it was just him. So
Disappointing.
imagine how disappointing it'd be to get
uh,
your party on, and it turns out to be a goblin courier service
Judah.
drunk out of his mind.
A drunk goblin.
Judah. He was doing something in the Western Plains and then showed up in Grimlock somewhere. Uh,
Like shooting
Grimmel.
goblins in a barrel.
Belly. Not Belly. Paysack was that.
Uriah was told by the guard to help clean up the mess.
You
Don
got picked
got
up
it.
from underneath
Don
somebody.
got out of it because it's done, but Uriah had to still do it.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation, baby.
But it's all come to an end now, and you guys watch as Uriah grabs a chair, puts it up to the table, and kind of sits down, kind of dejected that you had to. You're kind of dejected that you had to clean up the mess, but you know, you have now reconvened. You have now rejoined the party.
You have
Uriah,
Worse.
wizard boy. Are you like? I was noticing when you were cleaning over there. You're back. It's getting more muscly.
Hmm.
You working out?
I'm so confused.
Oh, you're not here.
I don't think so.
No, he wasn't here.
Oh.
You guys
freaking
can
hate
get a
you.
room. You guys can get a room here.
Sit here,
For
bucko.
each one of you would have a private room, a private bed.
It's my
There
private
is a
domicile.
loft. There's a loft up above that have these kind of like these rooms that are almost the walls are almost made of paper, and there's no ceiling to them, so it's almost like a hostel. You know, like there's a whole bunch
Oh.
of beds, and you each have like a cubby. There seems to be a lot of travelers that come through Malsha from up north, heading to Praedron and the opposite way. There are enough beds for all of you. There are 10 beds in total, and several of them are taken. But there are 5 for the 5 of you that you can rent. Although renting a bed is considerably more expensive at 10 gold per bed per night.
Oh, I got it, guys. No problem.
You sure the barrels are always an option?
Don,
20.
you mentioned that again, and I'm gonna kick your ass. Never, I'm gonna. Never, sorry. It was just a joke. It was one time. One time.
I was never against it, my friend.
So that's 50 gold worth.
50 gold for a night for everyone.
Let's go. It's 10 gold cheaper.
Okay, we're good. Paid for.
10 gold cheaper.
Very kind of you.
You mean it's 10 gold cheaper?
Because we're minus a
Because Johnny
person.
isn't there?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Shut up.
Wow.
You're the
So,
worst, man. He ain't been gone for a full week yet. Y'all just.
I don't know.
He's
you know,
listening. He's
said
watching.
You're the one that started it.
He'll get me back.
I'll finish it. The evening progresses. Is there anything that you would like to do in town? There are a number of shops. This is like a level 3 town. So there are a number of shops that you can get some basic goods and supplies. If there's anything.
I should buy some more rations.
You can certainly do that.
With Johnny giving us his stuff, did we, as a party, discuss who's getting what? What do we have all together?
As of right now, for sure, the only 3 items that I know that he gave you are his +1 striking short sword, his leather armor, and the Kanchi talkie.
Got it.
Yes, Dr. Reed.
Can I have the sword, please? I don't have any weapons.
You
You trained in it?
Can I go stabby stab, please?
If you're training it, go
Are
for
you
it.
trained in it?
I want to see it.
No,
Ah.
no.
Then
Just like grabs it.
You're a
Stabs
You're a
yourself.
dex based. Well, you could if it's a rapier, but it's not a rapier. It's a short sword. Does it have finesse? Does a short sword have finesse?
I don't think so.
I don't use short swords. I use rapiers.
I'll check the inventory.
I use long swords.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Is it considered a martial weapon?
Sure.
It is a martial weapon, and it has the finesse.
Agile,
trait, but
finesse, and versatile.
but it's a martial weapon, not a simple weapon. Are you trained in martial weapons, Dr.
No.
Reed?
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it would be
I'd
really
take it.
hard for you to use
So basically, you
I'd
can
take it.
certainly try.
it. It's not going to do you a whole lot of good either, Zag, because you're a monk. You do more damage with your fists or with the staff.
But my martial weapon's pretty dang good.
Okay.
If you take it, you can't use flurry of blows with it. You can't use stuff like that. Just letting you know. And stunning strike. I don't. I think stunning strike might be, but I know flurry of blows. I'm monk expert. It's not playing no more.
How much do how do I buy rations? I'm so sorry.
I can take care of it for you.
Thank you.
Each ration is going to
Be 4 silver pieces.
Onwards.
It'll be 4 silver. It'll be 4 silver.
What a
So
valiant
we're gonna have
game
to
master.
break a gold.
If like Abdul like goes shopping, if like that's what everyone's going with, but at the end of the night, when Abdul's going up for bed, he's going to go into the room and just shut the door behind him and just walk to bed and go sit on the bed and then like realize and get up and go over and lock the door and go sit down the bed and like it's never happened. Like he's always
never
locked
forgotten.
the door. He's always done all this, but like he's coming to a new place and things aren't really like they were before. He doesn't have to worry about things like he was growing up. Like it's a whole different. No one hates him. No one knows him. This is beautiful. But he still goes over and locks the door. And then
Dr. Reed goes into the room. She settles in. She lays on the bed. Sigh of relief. I can finally hear my own thoughts. And then in the paper thin walls, I hear farting noises and laughing. I go. Oh,
It's Uriah and Don, and Uriah's like, no, you really have to like cup over to do it. You know,
Nah,
right? Like you really have to. No.
I chose room 9, by the way. I don't know if 9 was available, but room 9 is the one that Abdul chose.
Okay, your favorite number is 9. Noted.
Yeah, it is. 9 lives, baby.
So any kind of basic like rations, rope, basic adventuring gear that you would like.
Can we get HP or
Basic.
elixirs here? Or is that
Dr. Reed can make an elixir, and I think I looked at the rules. I think it only takes her an hour to make an elixir, and so it is literally, and she can make 4 of them in an hour. So if you roll your crafting check and you spend an hour worth of time, and your you should. Do I have it in here? Yeah. Oh no, I don't.
What kind of elixir are you looking for? Like elixir of life. I also have
elixir of life? Yeah.
I have another one. It's called you might like this one too.
Drink some silverwood. It's really good.
I need to look in my formula book. Okay, now where's my formulas?
Up at the top it says crafting. It's on my hammer.
Ding ding. Thank you. Potion of resistance lesser is another one I have. Kind of nice.
Yeah, just a potion of life or elixir of life.
Okay. How many do you want?
As many as I can get.
Who else wants them?
Well, they only last for a
700.
day, correct? No.
No, those are my daily
Oh.
preparations. If I
Oh, you're
use,
using your reagents? Yeah, stuff.
then they don't expire.
Yeah.
Pass them around to the party.
I'd take. I don't have nothing. I'd take definitely something. Whatever.
Anybody else?
Donald
I
takes
would
some.
prefer to use them as like the high, like a good one. But if that's not possible, then
I have mine. I have a sorry. Yeah, the highest one I have is elixir of life. Hold on. I'm sorry. Lesser. The level 5.
And so, GM, you were saying Mosha's like a farming town, right? Maybe a little bit of
Yes.
hunting, perhaps?
Sure.
Anywhere I can get like maybe a little hunting short bow, perhaps?
Hunting.
Just
I
like a
can give you
short bow, but like
You get a
anyone
short
else would
bow.
use it for hunting.
Sure.
do you want the same bow I got, the hunter's bow?
I have no idea what kind of bows there are. I'll be honest with you. I just want a bow.
You want the hunter's bow, my dude?
Do I have to be specialty trained in it?
No. Look up the items, hunter's bow.
Oh,
This wouldn't be a place where I could put a rune on that crossbow. No.
This would
A
not
level
be a place.
3.
Mm-mm. This would not be
Maybe
a place.
definitely in M.I.A when we get there.
Yeah. It's a bigger
But
place.
we've never been there. You don't know the way. Just Jesse knows. Jesse knows when we can go to M.I.A.
jeez, that bow.
Yeah, bro.
So
Yeah,
with
well.
the remember how I had the what do you call it? However many. Sorry, the words are hard. How do I have them? The reagents, the alchemical reagents.
Yeah.
I had like 30 gold worth. Okay, so where is that on now?
I just put it in. And
Oh, you
it's
did
gonna
it.
be
Okay.
it's gonna be kind of weird. It is under. Oh boy, that's the wrong thing. It is under consumables, and it's got a little white background. It says alchemical reagents, and the price is 130 gold, not the quantity. So you'll just have to open that up, and
So consumables is found
you
in
just
my.
hold on. Yeah, it's in your.
Go all the way
inventory.
down to my crafting, all the way down.
No. You're gonna open up your inventory,
Got you.
A little box.
which is the
next
little
to
box,
crafting.
and under
Gotcha.
consumables you'll see alchemical reagents. It just says alchemical reagents, and so every time you use it,
Yes.
I'll just say, for the purposes of this, not to bog down the game, you just use it, and we'll work out the.
I will give
Math.
4 to Zag and 4 to Abdul.
So okay,
So that
so
leaves
you're gonna.
2.
So I need you to roll 2 crafting checks. And
She makes 4?
what
Prison.
what formulas? What are you actually making?
It's going to be Elixir of Life, the level 5, lesser.
Okay, all right. So it's gonna be a level 5 DC.
Yo, where have you been? We've been needing you.
She needs downtime to be able to do it.
Dang.
She also
I
wasn't
mean,
here
bro,
the
in
past 2
campaign
sessions.
1, this would have been legit. We could have gave
We had
Irma a.
campaign one.
We had a person that could make potions.
You mentioned
Yeah.
her.
Who?
You brought her up, huh?
Timothy knows it.
Put it on whale too, by the looks of it.
Yo,
Aha.
yo.
37 is the first one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh
Damn.
wait, sorry, I wasn't rolling a foundry.
Not rolled on Foundry. Valid roll.
No,
Invalid
that's,
roll.
it's
No,
alright.
I'll-
It's
not
okay.
valid.
Invalidate the
I'll just
roll.
roll. I'll roll twice on foundry.
Yes.
I, wanna be I need to learn. I need to do
Get
this.
in that
I need to know.
one.
No, she
So I'll
won't.
just take these beautiful
It could be a
dice
nat
that I
0
purchased
and
Eat
then
them.
a
money, and I'll
negative
just
one.
forget
the-
I bought them.
Eat the
Yeah,
dice.
just like us. Yeah, because who needs
Yep.
dice anymore?
Okay, here we go.
Put them in a
Rolling.
blender.
Me.
Rolling,
Cool.
rolling.
Decorative piece.
All right.
24 and
Oh!
30.
All right.
34.
So I don't know the rules for this. I will look up these rules for crafting. I don't know the rules. Great. I'll look it up. But the elixir of life. The first batch you make 4 of them, and the second batch you crit. So I'm gonna say you make 8 of them.
Pass them around.
Okay, so you
They're on the
have
house.
a total of 12 that are made. That are not your reagents that just appear at the end of the day. You have 12 of them in your inventory, lesser elixir of lives that are worth 120 gold each.
Take
Right.
some down.
So
pass
I'm
them
going to
around.
give 2 to each of us, and 3 to Abdul, 3 to Zach.
So we
So they
get
asked
5
for them.
total?
No.
So you get 3, 2, and myself gets 2.
Zach
Okay.
gets
You get
3.
two, too.
Abdul gets
Yeah,
3.
yeah, yeah,
Everyone else
yeah.
gets 2.
3.
And we're giving that the next morning. So
Not the
there we
not the next
Um,
morning. That
Oh,
that
no,
you-
that's today. That's right
not
now.
her. That's not her daily preparations. Those are
No,
not
I know, but
things
I'm
that just
saying, like,
appear.
she needs the downtime, and we went shopping and all that other stuff. So
Oh, okay.
we went to bed or whatever. Like, then
In fact, I'm gonna say for the purposes of this, your alchemical, you use the rest of your alchemical reagents.
Are they lessers or minors?
Lessers.
They
They
are
are the lessers because they're level.
Holy-
Because it's level 5.
Level
I'm
5.
gonna say this is the rest of your alchemical reagents to do this. Technically, it should be more because you made more, but I'm gonna say that this is
Oh, quick question. Really good question. What's the date?
it is spring. It is sometime in the 2nd month, 3rd month, somewhere right around there. I will have to look it up.
Alright.
I was actually
Um,
trying to find it for the last couple of streams, and I couldn't find it. So I have to figure it out.
Uriah just wants to buy like some rope. 'Cause he
Alright.
has-
Same with Dawn. Rope also.
Okay, it's market price. You can buy rope.
Alright, and then that short bow. There's no way I'm gonna find a magical hunter's bow because it does have the magical's tag here. So for now, we will just take the short
Man,
bow if
if
available.
you...
A short bow will be
I can give
market
you
price
my
as well.
bow. Oh no, I gave it to Bogger.
No.
Yeah.
Zag didn't give him the bugger.
No, Falco did. If that's what I'm saying. If Dawn had asked, Falco would have gave him his, and it has like. But yeah.
All right.
How many arrows would you say I could get? I want to steal all
you
of them.
you can probably, you don't have a quiver.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a ranger.
A what?
A quiver. So I'll say if you want to mark off
what?
if you want to mark off 5 more gold for a quiver, you can hold I'll say
A what?
30 arrows.
Yeah, it's not from my wallet. I just got 30.
Quiver.
What's in
Quiver.
your wallet?
2, 3,
what do you think he
4,
said?
5.
That's what it is. Quiver.
I'll give you a quiver right here.
Oh yeah, come on in.
Careful, this is a family stream.
Mink.
Ming, ming,
You know
ming,
where
ming.
I got that from is from Banjo Tooie. When the guy's about to cuss and Banjo's like, "Careful, this is a family game."
Funny.
And so, how many arrows does this quiver
You can
hold?
have up to 30,
Jeez!
and if you would
Lord
like,
have mercy.
I'm gonna say up to you have put the conch. You put conch horn, but you can take. Don can take the conchi talkie as well, just so you know.
Yes, sir.
Make sure somebody puts that in their inventory. I'm gonna say it's Donny Boy. Your sap is gone too, by the way.
No. Yeah.
And Sapo Escano.
All right. As you guys wrap that the last little things up, make sure that you add Uriah. You add 2 elixirs of life to your inventory. They are permanent. Don, make sure you add 2 elixirs of life to your inventory. They are permanent. And Zag and Abdul, you get 3. Make sure that you add them.
They are added.
And
That's a
yeah,
lesser, right?
the next morning comes to you rather uneventfully. You gather your things and you head out. It is a foggy morning. The cool breeze coming off of the mountains to the south. Um, you can feel this. Although you can't see it, you can feel definitely this storm coming through. The days worth of travel, or the several days worth of travel down to Rio Drid and Swampview, I'm going to need someone to take the lead and make some checks.
So
You're
like
right, go for it.
practice. Bet.
Roll a survival
So-
check.
Ignore that sea of touch.
It will not be ignored.
Yeah.
What you
Um,
said?
so it'll be survival. It'll be a survival check.
Come on, Uriah.
Just to
Just
see,
one?
it's not to subsist or anything like that. It's just to see in general how fast you guys can kind of keep up and
Also,
you know.
that night, in that room, with the extra military presence. This is what I was gonna say earlier. Dawn wants to check in with the network, see if any of the Green Hoods are maybe on land talking about if they know why extra military presence in the area.
Sure, you connect into the network. You put your hood up. You touch the brooch, and for a second you can feel this kind of wave of energy hit you, and almost like 1,000 threads connect to your mind all at once. And it is an unnerving feeling where you feel yourself being pushed back and pulled forward at the same time, just kind of. And you connect in, and you hear whispers from all over. You hear the things we're talking about from distant lands, and this over here that you hear something in Anton and the Heartland Forest. You hear all these different whispers. A lot of whispers about Prehedron and the Riston Plains. A lot of whispers of people checking in. If you are in general scanning through these to try to find some pertinent information, as if you were in a filing cabinet trying to just find something that made sense, I'm gonna need you to roll a society check and a will save.
Oh shoot.
It's gonna cost all over again. No.
Bang.
Okay.
Oh,
Bongo.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you steal your mind. It is exhausting. All of the whispers, all of the people talking. And instead of going through a million whispers all at once, you kind of pick out Prehedron, Riston, Malsha, and then you zero in on Malsha, and you hear Malsha here, Malsha here, Malsha. You hear it, and you kind of condense it down, and you hear reports of the predators moving northward and holding up in Riverhold to protect the border. You hear reports of the Labber Road, which is you can go ahead and roll a society check to recall knowledge. I'll say with that society check, I'll just use that society check. The Labber Road is the road that runs through the Thalrin Mountains that separates Prehedron to Libertalia. They have pulled back from the Labber Road, and they are defending Riverhold and then another whisper about the Dominion troops. How the Dominion troops are being rerouted and put. Most of them are at Fearhaven at the Hyvel Valley. Most of them are up north. They are defending. Um, the active troops are defending from the Dreadlands. They're defending Anton and Thessari from the Dreadlands, but there are a few regiments that are in other places. Um, there is a regiment that is in Leon currently. There is a regiment that is has been stationed in Tira Valoran for several months past when they said that they were going to be, which is the Elven lands now.
Mhm.
And every month that their assignment is renewed, you hear these whispers that every month their assignment is renewed. They come up with a new excuse of the reason why they're staying, and the excuse gets more and feels more and more like an excuse every single time.
Mhm.
Um, and then there is a regiment that is assigned here. Um, More whispers, more bits of information. You hear the name Lady Violet more than once. Um, do you zero in on Lady Violet, or you keep on searching for exactly your information?
Hearing Lady Violet would pique the interest, so I'd zero in on that.
I need another will save.
It's Chikas all over again.
No, we're fine, right?
God.
We're even better.
Even better, yeah. So the DC does
Even
go up
most
every
types of
time because it's
DC.
the more the idea is for the will say the idea is you're connected to literally hundreds of voices all at the same time,
Mhm.
and
Voices.
you're trying to go through them. It's not going to fry your brain, but it will force you out of the network.
Mhm.
And you get the sense that there is a hard line that the brooch almost has like a safety built in that won't allow your brain to be fried.
Mhm.
And you continue pushing. You hear Lady Violet. You hear whispers of a plot that was uncovered by the Sirius Six in Vidoba uh, to undermine Lady Violet. The Sirius Six appear to be working with Lady Violet extensively. Um, you know, a full report about what you did, although you never saw any Junipers there, you never saw any of the brokers men there.
Mhm.
And you hear Lady Violet moving the Roughnecks around different places. The Roughnecks are one regiment. She has split them up into lots of different places to try to cover a lot of different ground. Um, you hear more whispers of Lady Violet trying to raise, not Lady Violet so much, but Lady Violet and Dale trying to raise more soldiers, asking the outlying towns of Vidoba, Malsha, Riadrid, um, all of these small farming villages, trying to recruit more soldiers into the Roughnecks in order to cover all the land that they have to cover. The essence that you gather is that the Dominion is shoring up protection in their southernmost part from Prehedron.
Mhm.
And then as you dig deeper with your 31 society check, it's not to shore up protection. They're staging an attack in case Prehedron does seed, that they're going over there and they're going to make them bring them back into the fold.
Mhm.
Lady Violet has told them not to do this. Is not for this. Um, and Prehedron is shoring up defense for this. Tensions are mounting, and literally, either Ravenwood or Riverhold, if somebody says the wrong thing, it could lead to all-out war.
Mm.
And that is the gist of what you gather. Although hearing Lady Violet, you hear you hear one particular report that says basically Lady Violet has a lot of goings on that even the Juniper Consortium is unaware of. That the network is unaware of.
Mhm.
Although when it mentions the Sirius 6, that same report also has an addendum that says the broker would be would be pleased to hear this information that the Sirius 6 is working with Lady Violet.
Mhm.
And so that kind of like, wait a second, the broker and Lady Violet working together? Although they've never been introduced or working together, somehow that is of interest to the broker.
No information on the sudden disappearance of one pirate.
Nothing in the Juniper network.
That's good.
With that, Dawn would tap out there and sleep on information and then fill the party in tomorrow. Just to make sure we don't cross and start a war.
Okay. So I need I still need that survival check. Yes, thank you.
Let's go, you
All right. So with the 28, you guys, it is about a 2-day journey from Mulsha to Ravenwood. But you're not going to Ravenwood. You're actually going to Riodrid. So it is about 4 days on the road.
So we rested,
Um,
right? Just want to make sure. That...
Yes, you rested again. And then you can press the rest button technically 4 more times. So you guys should all be at full HP at this point.
We did it!
Uh,
Finally!
by the time you
10
get to
days.
Riodrid, the next 4 days it
On
steadily
the way, Don would tell us that.
Yeah, almost like as we take off the day after we leave Molsha, you'd be informed tensions are high and don't say anything that could lead to anything.
Say
Abdul's
stuff like
just.
what? Sorry. No, you go ahead.
No, you could.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Alright. Abdul would say it'd be probably best that we are leaving because when like war breaks out, like it's best that just like we're not around. You know what I mean? Like we don't need to be around. It's fine. We're not an army. We're not nothing like that. We're not military.
We're going to get an army. I just hope she sticks it to the right plan instead of potentially fighting in in a war that isn't theirs.
What all exactly should we avoid when talking? Like,
I think
so
probably just talking, to be
keywords.
honest.
But
Of course, the obvious of
Dr.
anything.
Reed probably has the most experience with warfare and with tension.
dun dun dun.
Alchemical. That
Dun,
alchemical.
dun.
Not to put you on the spot, but
What was I supposed to? What did you ask? You wanted to know what? What words we're supposed to avoid?
To not cause a war?
Whatever the bard was singing about, I suppose. Don't go jumping into any more brawls. Not very
Man.
civilized.
You're not from here, are you?
There,
No.
that.
As that, Abdul's gonna jump in. Of course not. We're from
Relkia.
Velkia.
There we go. That sounds very convincing. The pause for the.
Inside check. Oh wait, wrong game.
Uh-huh. You can roll a perception check to sense motive.
Ooh, ooh. Roll that beautiful beam footage. Ooh!
Sheesh!
Sheesh!
Is it against
Um,
my
Hit it,
deception?
Mosmo, hit it, hit it.
It is against your deception.
Which is your deception plus 10, right?
Yep.
I'm
You
gonna hit
you get the sense that Abdul is being genuine.
Holy
Are you for real?
smoke.
His deception's that high? Whatever, man.
Or
Get
your
good, bro.
perception was that high.
Whatever, man. I rolled a 30. There's no way your deception is up 30 or higher.
Or his deception isn't that high, and he is being genuine.
Yeah, but was he being
Whoa.
genuine about both of them being from Elkia?
From what he knows, yeah.
From his point of view, you get the sense that yes, he is being genuine.
From a certain point of view.
Who the
Exactly.
heck lowered my HP?
That's for
Me.
questioning.
I did.
Huzzah!
That's for asking questions. That's what she said.
That was for asking questions. Um.
I love it.
So.
I like questions. 5
the
points.
next-
I like questions.
The next 4 days, you enter into terrain.
Minus 4
that
rations.
even- yes, minus 4 more rations.
Did you do my rations?
4 rations.
I can-
1 ration
I can
is
do
like.
your
I
rations,
can't.
though.
I
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
One ration.
Jesse.
It says out of
You could
7.
just
Thank you.
Massimo, that's a whole week.
Just open rations and then click use 4 times.
no.
Don't do that.
Edit the
don't
number.
do that.
Because if you click
Edit
use,
the
it floods the chat.
number.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
God
can edit
dang.
the number.
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
didn't do
Go
that.
in.
Chat was using rations.
I just decided to
Go
be
to
hard.
rations.
yeah.
Go to next to the T-shirt and hit edit item, and you edit it, and it'll you just minus whatever
Charges.
you used.
You set
Yeah.
charges to whatever number out of 7.
Correct.
Once it hits 0, it's gone. No more.
I've got 1 ration left.
You did not stock up
Oops.
before we left?
Let's say that
I
you
got
did.
like 4 to 5 weeks.
It's four silver per. If you want to buy a couple, you can absolutely do that. I'll say.
Oh,
Over
Yeah,
the
he
next-
was supposed to purchase rations.
Yeah, it was. You said that you were wanted to as well, so.
Yeah, so like I'll get like 5 more if you didn't do it already.
I gave you 2.
I'll say
Do these
so-
rations-
You need to start.
Do these rations stay spoil? Do
no.
we have to worry
maybe.
about them buying them in bulk and
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe. Now you're giving him ideas.
You said you wanted 5 more.
Yeah, why not?
that's exactly why I asked. Because I have 4 weeks. I don't want these things to start spoiling since we left Vigo, you know.
So I'll say we had 7, and then we use 4, and then so I have 3 left.
All right, I have edited Dr. Reed accordingly.
Thank you.
Over the next 4 days, you enter into terrain that is foreign to you. The dirt itself starts turning red. It is more clay than dirt. As soon as you get past Ravenwood, Uriah, you've never been this far south in Riston. Don, neither of you. This is all new territory to you. In fact, all of you have never been to Swampview or Rio Drid before. On your right, you see a sprawling forest, and of note, yes, even Zag. Zag has not been this far.
Wait, reloading.
You're not special.
Lord.
Who sends mail to
Um,
Swampview, anyways? Ugh.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to Swampview.
Oh, you mean Florida?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
The trees slowly turn from your typical green leaf trees, your pines and oaks, to a very weird, almost like a maple tree, that has, even in spring, this kind of orangish leaves. You can see the bark on these trees as they sporadically get more and more. What do they call that? They get more and more dense. You notice the bark on these trees is a very dark brown, very dark, almost black. And where the bark has been chewed away by bugs or eaten away by small animals, you can see the wood is this fiery orange. This is, you would know from anyone looking on the map, this is the Emberbark Forest. Anybody who wants to, you can certainly roll a recalled knowledge nature check to know a bit of history of the Emberbark Forest.
Dawn
we
would
going
do
to
that
be-
while walking with the map out, kind of looking at it.
As we're walking, are we going to hear somebody say, "What are you doing in my swamp?"
Oh,
So, Dawn, You know that the Emberbark Forest is known. They call it the Emberbark because of its color, but the trees themselves are very wet trees.
Mm.
They do not catch very easily, and even though it's the Emberbark, this forest is very old. Very, very old. It's one of the oldest forests on the continent.
Mm.
It has, to your knowledge, never burned down. Has never had a fire in the forest. It is wild and untamed. Zag, you know that the Ember Forest is avoided by the Goblin Courier Service. You know that there are settlements there were settlements on the coast around Swampview, Rio Drid, and there was another one that fell. That Lady Violet and the whole Goblin Courier Service have been instructed, just don't go to the Ember Forest. It is easy to get stuck in a bog or in a swamp, and people who go into the Ember Forest, it's not like people who go there are never heard from again. It's just more like it is very dense. It is very hard to navigate.
Like mangroves, like getting caught in mangroves or something.
Yeah, it is.
Get
It
lost
is.
and turned around.
You can get turned around really easily, and it is just it's just kind of be wary of it.
I would tell that to the party.
Although it is absolutely breathtaking to look at, because you have these leaves that kind of blow in the wind, and the maple, I'd say it's a kind of maple because it has 5 points, almost like a hand. Its leaves almost look like a hands that wave in the wind.
Is it a tree star?
Dang.
um,
Dang. Dang, you're right in the
Operators
feels.
are sobbing.
Dang.
oh man,
Freaking
that
little
was
foot.
rough. After
Yep.
4 days, you guys find yourselves in Rio Drid, and you can spend the night here. Just like Malsha, there are no bathhouses, but there is a small tavern if you would like to spend the night here.
Party. Yes. Yes, all around.
I'm always in favor of 4 walls and a roof.
Does not matter to me.
See, now does a barrel count as a? Never mind.
Surrounded
Yeah,
and
no,
has a roof.
Interesting. You can put me in a barrel to sleep.
It was a
no.
thought for the party in case it
No,
comes to it.
No, I would never think of putting you in a barrel. Everybody else, well, that's up for debate. But well,
The
if you fit,
tavern has
Barrel. Barrels.
a carved
Barrel fighter.
has a carved wooden carved sign of of 2 roosters, and they appear to be fighting, and there's feathers everywhere. And it is called the Raging Rooster.
Whoa.
man, you had such a great opportunity.
What? Double talk in?
No. Well, the family, or the raging cock.
That's so dumb. I don't get it.
This tavern has
That was good. That was
You're
you
welcome.
guys are gonna kill me.
You're welcome.
This tavern has
Lost oblivious.
simple accommodations. It is 5 gold per person to spend the night there.
Weird question,
So,
but does it seem like any of the buildings are made with that ember bark? Do they like a red tone to them?
Yeah, they do, but it's interesting when it dries. It seems like a normal, almost like a maple wood. It has kind of a bit of an orange hue to it. It has um, the what do they call that? The grain of the wood.
What
Almost
grain?
looks like it has orange lines that run through it.
Love it.
Us getting to the Raging Rooster. Abdul is just looking at the sign, and just like, I don't understand you guys' language. And then like starts to ask clarification of some things of what rooster means and to other things. And I would assume the whole it was gonna turn into a joke, and it would be all funny, and everyone's just laughing about it. All the guys are just standing over there, just
The
We're sleeping
laughter,
outside.
the laughter is broken by a crackling of thunder. And
Inside.
over the last 4 days, the fog has turned to overcast, and overcast kind of rolling clouds come over and blanket the sky very high up. They're not big puffy clouds. It's just like a gray blanket, very Midwest style suicide gray skies. Um, as this kind of thunder kind of rolls, and a bit of rain drop, 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 drop as it begins to just drizzle.
Fry, have you ever tried to, I don't know, stop rain before? It's such a nuisance sometimes. I mean,
Well, I don't think I could stop anything that large, even if I wanted to. And I don't really think I want to. I don't
Oh.
really want to
okay.
mess with nature. That tends to go badly.
Fair
Rain
enough.
That's
brings
a good
crops.
idea.
Crops bring food.
Well, I don't mean stop the rain entirely, unless, I don't even think, just like around us, keep us dry.
Well, I mean, I could, like, try to keep your feet dry as you walk, but, like,
It's definitely it's probably like raining at this point, huh?
It's drizzling.
Hailing,
That's
even.
Hailing, perhaps.
Was worth a check, I guess.
Hey. A little too close to home.
literally.
Oh, the raid? Never mind.
It is 5 gold per person to stay the night here.
Okie doke.
I got it.
All of us?
You're so
Oh.
kind.
Bro's made of shmoney.
5, 10, 15,
Get the schmite.
25.
20 gold, 25 gold?
25.
25 gold.
We
Not 30.
Whew.
Gone, but not
Um,
forgotten.
The next morning,
Who was that
Gone
one
and
guy
forgotten.
that traveled with us?
the next
What?
morning, you wake up rested, and you continue your journey from Rudred to Swampview. Is actually a bit longer. It's about 3 days travel.
And we re-up on rations while we're in there.
Dang. We just
I'm-
re-upped on rations.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
and then we
can.
used them.
What are you talking about?
You use
How many
4
rations
days
do
out of a
you,
week.
Every
like,
ration,
have?
every one ration lasts a week.
Oh.
Yes.
Yo, you gotta go over there and click use
That's why it's out of
ration.
7.
But then you'll see like 3 of 7.
Technically, if we're
1 of
using
7.
Foundry right, every day that passes, you're supposed to click use, and it's so and so consumed the ration, so and so consumed the ration, and it will say how many charges are left. It's-
Oh
open
my
it up.
gosh, I found
Yeah,
it.
but I tried that. It flooded the chat. I don't know
Yeah,
how, but
but you can
Oh.
use the ration. But if it's like just travel, like it's whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Word.
I'm gonna do this.
you can buy rations here if you want. Different
Well,
food.
that's what I was gonna do. But...
The 4 days getting to Rio Drid and then the 3 days getting to Swampview is another 1 ration that you should all mark off.
Yeah, one, like,
Goodbye
One
ration.
7-day period of rations.
man.
0 charges.
And since you left Swampview, it has now been 2 weeks. I'm sorry, since you left Vigo, it's now been 2 weeks. So I'm not quite sure when the date was, but I'm gonna say that it is now the second week of the 3rd month, which I have somewhere in here.
Abdul has 7 weeks of rations.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
what
I
I'm saying,
asked
like-
Judah if they spoil, because if they do,
That's why I
we're
was.
doomed.
Nah. Well, that's the whole point of them. They're supposed to be like dried meats. Dried meats don't go bad.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I
Maybe
will
Malsha's-
actually
Malsha's,
rained
the
on.
dish.
maybe Malsha's dry fruit, and now we got Rio Druid. Maybe it's drier fish. Different foods in different areas. I don't know.
Let's just say hypothetically, you go into the sewers. Okay, would you still eat that food that you had?
Straight up.
Yes.
If it's to live,
in-
yes.
That you slid down a pipe.
Yes.
If
Yep.
it's to live, straight up.
We fighting to live out here.
Does everybody have their rations? Good.
I've got 10 weeks worth of rations.
10? Judah's gotta make these things spoil, please. It'd be so funny. Please.
So stupid.
No,
Bro,
you're
guess
so
what?
like.
Bro,
You just want you just want chaos.
Massimo
Okay.
is an anime character.
See, that's the thing with Massimo. Even if it is like dried, he can just like rehydrate it, and he's got just like fresh food.
vegetation, bro.
Like
Yeah,
Massimo's
right.
set, his doesn't spoil. He's
It
in luck.
is- The date is 3/1. We'll say
That's
when
why
you
it doesn't
we'll say no, it's the second week.
3/1.
It's the second week. So we'll
Second
say
week.
it's 3/8.
So that's why our rations don't hydrate. Massimo every once in a while just
3-8.
rehydrates them and
What?
dries them out.
3/8 78, I believe.
Take the hydrated out.
1978.
8/78.
878.
And
Yeah,
for
you're
those
old
of you
down here.
interested, the 3rd month is called Celeste. Slaeest.
SLA.
Celeste.
It's
Celeste.
3/8/878.
Abdul can say that one easy.
That's the 3rd week. That's the 3rd month you said.
3rd month, 8th day.
Spell it one more
878.
time slowly.
878.
I got it this time, I promise.
SLAEST.
Got it.
SLAEST.
Yeah, I see. I even said it
Celeste.
wrong. You say it
It's
one
like
more time.
slay, and then east.
Slay!
EST.
Filet.
Die,
Slay,
Joe.
Hey
Die.
Raya, you want to try to take the water out of some of these trees? Just see if it's for fun. I heard they're wet, and so they don't light easy. Just something to do. Work on your powers. Make sure you don't lose them again. Keep them up. Keep them
Again?
fresh.
Stare
What do you
at
mean
Dawn.
again? He's lost them before?
Who is having
I
some
kind of just like stare
troubles?
at Dawn, and I take the water.
Were
off
you
the
having
tree,
performance issues?
And I throw it at Dawn.
We're staying at
Right,
the
right on his food. Right on his
Boost.
food.
No, my ration.
You. When is this happening? Is this happening while you guys are
Just
still in
traveling.
prison? Oh, traveling. Okay, so
Oh,
you.
while we're traveling, I throw it on your adventures pack.
Okay.
There will be
Um,
consequences to that.
Okay.
Judah looking what's in,
Always
Judah
is.
looking what's
I
in
got
my
no
adventures pack.
PD.
the
I
The
got no
next
CD. Chicane doesn't
4
like
days for all of you save one are fairly uneventful. You guys play silly jokes with one another. You talk about current events, about politics, about the mission. Lady Violet hasn't given you a time frame, so this is the overall. This isn't necessarily a mission or a quest. This is more like a goal that you are working towards, taking back the dual towers. You after discussing it over the next 4 days, you know that this is no small task, and it will probably be a few months on a boat trying to get to Freeport by the time that the boat goes to where it
Few
needs to go.
months?
It's probably going to be a 2-month trip. The nearest that you can tell from all of your limited seafaring knowledge.
Yes, I pushed the button.
You get the essence that Johnny would be able to help a little bit better with knowing how long it would be. But at this point, you guys
But we
kind
don't
of
know even 2 months. Like we don't know how long.
you
It's
don't
gonna be.
know
We've
how
never
long
traveled
it's
there.
gonna be. You've never traveled that long on a ship,
Hey,
but you
Captain,
look.
how long is it gonna take to get to
We're
Freeport?
not even at like.
We're
There's
not
How
even in
long?
Swampview yet. We're getting
How
there.
long?
What are
How
you
Um,
long?
saying? There's no one there. You've gone mad, Zach.
Somebody get
Charlie
Zach
said-
I
some
just
water. It
miss him,
seems he's
okay?
starting to hallucinate or something.
I just miss him.
Reed,
These mushrooms,
maybe check
they
up
help.
on him.
you
I take some water and splash it in Zach's face. Snap out
Huh.
of it.
Get a hold of yourself, Ben.
you spend the last night. Next day's travel will put you into Swampview. You spend the last night just outside the city, probably 2 or 3 hours outside the city. But it gets to a point in the day where traveling any farther gets to be kind of dangerous. Um, and the terrain rapidly changes. It turns from forest and clay to bog and fen and marsh.
I guess Finn.
Fen is a wetland. It's a type of wetland.
I didn't know either,
Um,
Shane. You're good.
I didn't know until earlier this week. I looked up different types of wetlands to help me with this specifically. And so yeah, he starts getting into every once in a while, even on the road, if you step off just slightly, you get your boot gets kind of stuck, and then you get this kind of horrible sucking sound as you pull up and keep walking. Um, but
For
you
free?
guys make camp. You guys make camp outside of Swampview, about 3 or so hours outside of Swampview. And
Oh, dang.
as you bed down for the night, Uriah,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sweetheart. Oh god.
you
Me.
lay down on your bedroll, and you struggle to get sleep. You toss and turn. You turn and look over at the fire. And as you're looking at the fire, it's crackling, moving. The flames cast a shadow. You see in the flame a shadow. Shadow of a man. You see your shadow elongate to see it's not your shadow, it's this man's. You look up and you see from through the fire, through this shadow, the bald man with this beige robe, this thick belt that runs across his abdomen, with 4 vessels clipped onto it. One of clay, one of brass, one of black metal, and one of stone. You're muted. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you.
I said I remember this dude.
Ah.
Whooped my butt.
Have you learned the lesson?
Have you not learned I'm dumb?
Slow learner. The lesson was in pain. You will know pain. Don't listen to her.
Why not? She's done a lot to put her job than you has so far.
You can feel a tightness in your chest as as there's roots on the ground that have now grown up. Unbeknownst to you, you now see his hand slowly moving as he's casting a spell, kind of at the base of as his hands are down like this. You see his hand moving as he's casting a Tanglefoot spell to hold you in place, and you feel these roots kind of hold
Dang.
on to you.
I don't think I can counterspell that, can I? Let me see.
You could certainly try.
I don't know. He has to have
You
it.
have an unexpended spell slot you could use to cast a triggering spell that you have in your repertoire. I don't think I have it in my repertoire. That's the thing.
Can you cast? You can't cast
Tanglefoot? Nope. I used to, but
Tanglefoot.
not anymore.
Oh, you got rid of it.
Yeah, I got rid of it. I changed that to detect magic as my innate. Tanglefoot used to be my innate.
Okay. So as the roots kind of like grow up over you, he kind of holds you in place.
You really get on my nerves. Just show up every 5 months and punch me in the face. Not a very
The
good teaching
lesson?
method.
The lesson is in pain. You will know pain if you
I don't.
continue to work with her.
Well, you haven't really convinced me not to. She doesn't beat me, so don't really have much incentive.
What do you even want with her?
Look, she's given me more than you already have, so it's not really much that I want. She's helped me, you haven't.
What has she given you?
Answers?
Answers.
Knowledge?
You see, he kind of looks into the fire. And as he does, he puts his hand down on his belt and he touches the brass vessel that's there.
God.
Answers. And you can see this brass vessel is a completed version of the one in your pouch.
Frick. I'm gonna lose a lot of HP.
As he reaches for it and he touches it, you instinctively kind of like reach. The roots are holding you down, but you reach for it tucked away in your robe and you put your hand on it. And you can feel it's there. And when you realize it's there, you look back and there's nothing in his hand. He looks.
That's what you want. Oh, dear boy, you are meddling with things you can't possibly understand.
So then educate me. Had.
I say this as a warning. Leave. Bury that piece. Far away. Somewhere no one could ever find it. Forget about her. Forget about your past. Everything that you know. Leave it behind. You have good friends here. Go play hero.
You
And
spit at him?
with that, I spit out, and with that, I'm gonna cast produce water,
Like produce flame, like you're gonna.
produce flame, but produce
Okay,
water.
yeah, okay. So, you cast this spell, and as you do, the water goes through the flame, puts out the fire, and he's gone. And the water spews over Don's bedroll, and Don gets absolutely soaked. It doesn't attack Don. Don doesn't deal damage, but Don, you get absolutely soaked. And at this point, it's still kind of pitter patter. It's been kind of pitter patter raining this entire time. So at this point, more water. Don, I mean, you can roll. You can you can wake up if you want, but I don't think like
I'll
you would
fail
have
it.
to roll
I'll
a will
take it.
save. If you'd have to roll a will save to try to wake up.
I'll
Um,
take the water.
but it's so wet around that Don just kind of like there's a moment where Don, you know, he just kind of like rolls over in his sleep, and the fire is gone. You look around, nothing's there.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Is like the Tanglefoot gone?
Tanglefoot's gone. You start to question whether it was ever there. And as you kind of look down at the Tanglefoot, you're like, how are you ever going to get to sleep now after that? And at that point, you hear Abdul, Uriah, wake up! And you jolt awake in the morning, having the entire thing a dream.
We're going full schizo on us.
The boy says. Oh, what time is it?
It's still raining. You're muted, Jesse. It's still raining, so it's hard to tell, but it is now light outside.
Abdul looks up to the sky and goes, "It's time to leave."
Right.
And Abdul is like, it's still raining outside. Abdul is arms in, hood up, keffiyeh up, over. Like, he doesn't really like this rain.
Real
Yes.
quick. So prestidigitation says I can cool, warm, or flavor 1 pound of non-living material. So can I like?
Prestidigitation can make everybody dry.
Word.
But you can use it in a cool way, waterbender.
I'll allow it. I'll
Well,
allow it. I'll say.
I was just gonna.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna like take like their coats and then just warm up their coats, so when they put it on. But
Oh, you can do that as well. But you can make everyone dry. You see a moment Uriah kind of casts prestidigitation, holds his hand out, and you see all of the flecks of water kind of just drain out of your clothing and come to Uriah and form this massive ball of water that he takes and just drops. It just adds to the ground, the wet ground. Of course, it's going to get soaked in the next hour and a half again, but then he warms all of your coats so you have nice and warm coats.
Thank you, No. Yeah, I'm gonna say
not,
Wizard Boy. Thank you,
not
Wizard
sure
Boy.
how long it's gonna. Not sure how long it's going to last, but warm for a little bit is better than not warm at all.
I really appreciate it. I don't like this weather. It's not my
Why?
favorite.
It's great.
Well then, you're not to me. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a jerk. Yeah.
What am I?
Nothing. Nothing important.
You continue on your journey to Swampview, and as you approach the city, you see a town nestled in a small bay, surrounded by a dense swamp. The air is thick with humidity and the smell of decaying vegetation, which only intensifies as you get closer to the shoreline. As you enter the town's city gates and take note of the palisades that make up the city wall, a sense of excitement comes over you. people of all shapes and sizes are scurrying about, carrying crates and barrels filled with goods. Zag, you take notice of actually two different
What?
goblins that that are not that don't appear to be part of the Goblin Courier Service, but are working as what appear to be laborers here in this town, moving boxes left and right. You hear the sound of hammers and
They buff
saws
like
as
me?
workers repair and build new structures in the town. You catch an older man call out to another. They exchange good mornings and begin talking about their wives, their kids, current events, and their ailments. You make your way towards
Think of
the
my way.
town and the town center, and you notice that the buildings are made of a mixture of wood and stone, with thatched roofs and crooked chimneys. The architecture is slightly askew, as if the buildings were constructed in a hurry and without much attention to detail. As you walk through the streets, you see vendors selling all sorts of wares, from exotic spices and strange fruits to weapons and armor. Although most of these weapons and armor, you can see a tad bit of rust on them, and seems to be a bit outdated.
Are they still out with this rain?
Uh, yeah, they are. Unfortunately, they're covered, but they are, though they're selling their wares. The armor shops will say is more like a booth, like an end cap booth, like it's under an actual building, and it has a big tent that comes out.
Yeah.
The stall there are look like there are places for market stalls to be in the middle of the street, but they are packed up. They are not operating. Um, as you walk through the streets, I said that already. You can hear the sound of music and laughter coming from a nearby tavern, and the scent of roasting meat wafts through the air. Despite the activity and bustle, there is an underlying sense of danger in Swampview. You can see some rough looking characters lurking in the shadows, and the occasional scream or shout can be heard in the distance. But there's also a sense of excitement and adventure in the air, as if anything could happen in this wild and unpredictable place. What do you do?
I
Can I
think we
find
were.
something that
Go ahead. Sorry,
I
Duck
want to? Is this a place I can have a rune put on my alchemical crossbow?
Yes, although it will take time.
I like time. Time will work.
Well, perhaps
Well,
if
This is
if that's what you're trying to do, maybe we should find out if the two dwarf gentlemen have gotten here, and if our ride or boat is even here, and if we not, then maybe we have time.
Yes, let's go find.
Nab?
Was it?
Right?
Uh, yeah, Nabrak,
Oh, I'm a
Forge Guard,
And Mulder. Nabrath and Mulder.
Mulder.
excellent.
Um, so where do you go to look for them?
I guess. We're in the city center.
Yeah, you're pretty much. The city center is the market area. There is the 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 city is a city. It is bigger than Rio Drade and Malsha. It is more like on Vigo's level,
Mm-hmm.
but it is in decline. It seems as if the city was once a. In fact, Don, you'd probably know this just from your age. The city was once a
Well, he wasn't
stopping
here
point.
before.
He's
never
never
been
been. He's never been here. Okay, so I'll say, go ahead and roll. Anybody who wants to know, roll a society recall knowledge.
I can maybe perhaps do that.
basically just
Actually, Dr. Reed and Abdul can't really do that. I'll say Don can do a society recall knowledge because Dr. Reed and Abdul aren't from here.
That's fair. That's fair.
What'd you get there?
We could just ask the barkeep.
I was gonna just ask somebody in a stall, market stall.
Yeah, that was a little because of you not being here. I was hoping for a 30, but that was a little bad.
I could roll it.
Okay, you find a passerby and you say, "Hey, what's going on with these buildings? Why are they in decline?" Or what exactly do you ask them?
Me?
We're
Either one of you.
looking. We
Uh,
are looking.
First, Abdul would say we're looking for these people. So, I think the best place to go to find the wolf is the tavern. Aha.
We're
I
the
think
local forge.
maybe, but look at
Tavern it is.
the rusty like armor. I don't think Quickbelly wouldn't wear this. uh,
This is true.
so as I want to talk to the tavern people, see them, ask them, make conversation in there, and look for try to kill two birds with one stone. But
The tavern is named Mud, Muck, and Mead.
oh, this is perfect. This is like I'm home.
I guess I'll join you.
They have a stone chiseled sign that literally just reads those words.
Oh, nice.
There is no symbol, anything like that. You do see, actually, there is a symbol. You do see chiseled in, is a mug. But that's it.
Hey, what was the chiseled sign for the ranging rooster?
Two roosters fighting.
It was basically a cockfight. It was two roosters and they were fighting.
Yeah, with the
Um,
feathers.
I was just drawing that. Alright, I'll draw a cockfight.
Draw
I bet
the-
you will.
So stupid. As you guys enter the tavern, it is pretty lively, seen as though it is still drizzling outside, kind of in a steady. The thunder rolls every once in a while, but it is not by any means storming. It is just kind of a light, gloomy drizzle. The tavern there is fairly lively. There is a bard that is playing. In this particular tavern, they seem to like his music a little more, or at least tolerate it. There are no fights. There are no mugs flying. The bard is playing a tune on his lute, and you look to the crowd. You actually see two dwarves here, but they are not Nabrath and Mulder. They appear to be hunters. You see, they have furs kind of on their person. They have up against the table. They have leaned. One of them has a massive crossbow leaned up against the table. The other one has a bundle, like almost that sling over their back, of swords, axes, that kind of thing that they just kind of lean over. And it's just the two of them. They're together and they're speaking in hushed tones. But you catch them at a distance, clock that they're probably hunters.
Abdul coming in all bundled up. We'll start taking this stuff off and like flop.
There is a wall that is probably a 12 to 15 foot long section of wall that is just hooks for coats. That underneath is a stone trough that is built that actually drains outside, that people take their coats and put it up and they just drip. That's just pretty much what it is. There is there's two fireplaces, one of them kind of in the central area where the bard is, and the other one is very small and it's near this coat area just to kind of help dry out. It seems that this town is perpetually wet.
Abdul comes in. Does it always rain like this?
There's a bystander that's kind of finishes his mead and he goes, yeah, it does.
Why do you live here? It sucks.
Abdul, please do not offend them.
What is Rakia like
There are
if
guests
this
in their
sucks to you?
Oh, he's taking his kavia off and like wringing it out of water. No, my
Actually,
apologies.
it reminds me a little of my home.
What is your home like, anyways, Relkia?
Oh, rains all the time. Doesn't matter. It's kind of like a coastal island. Doesn't smell like this though. It's plumbing.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
What's plumbing?
It smells almost moldy in here because of how wet it is.
Relkia
And
is
this is
an
where people are
island.
actively like eating.
Nice.
Don questions,
Oh.
is Relkia an island? Like, no?
No, but it has islands around. It's
Don would know. I mean, that's common knowledge. Don would
Is
know Relkia is akin to Gaian. It is a continent.
Okay.
So should we go up to these? I elbow, Abdul and whoever's the other side of me, and I kind of nod over to the two dwarves, deep in conversation.
Well, I mean, if we wanted to know if the dwarves were here or if they've gone, I always have communication to the ship. The captain, even. Could ask him when he'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
here.
That's possible. Or they're up in their room, or we do go just talk to the dwarves, and maybe they know the other dwarves. That's actually that don't really sound that right. But maybe.
Maybe these are the two dwarves that he's picking up. Maybe it's not even ours. Navarathan.
What do you mean ours?
Oh, well,
Our dwarves?
the people we're supposed to be meeting, of course.
Oh, our people. The people. Okay.
Our associates, our
Oh,
friends.
yes.
Associates, yes.
After
Very
hanging
good.
up the clothes so they can dry. Abdul with no just shirt on, and he's not hiding nothing. Because it's all wet. And Abdul's walking up to the
Abdul, as soon
barmaid.
as you take off the hood and you get a couple of curious stares, you take off the kafia and ring it out, and you get the sense you kind of clock everything. You get the sense that people come through here a bit, or at least the locals are used to people coming through here. You still get some curious stares, but it's only when you take your inner shirt off and the entire tavern can see you're a catfolk. You are now loud and proud that you get kind of you see half of the tavern, not necessarily staring at you, but trying to make it look like they're not, looking at
Which
you and
I
curious.
feel
Wait,
the stares.
Wait, so you have basically no shirt on, just chest out.
No, I have a shirt. I just have an undershirt, like a white, you know what I mean?
Oh, all right.
But I
Yeah,
don't
but
have.
it's not his coat. His cloak isn't on when he takes that off. The hood coming off is hey, he's got ears, But when he takes the cloak off and you can see his arms, you can see his paws, his hands, you can see his you now
He's
see his
basically
physique.
coming off a t-shirt. He's got a tank top on.
Yeah, he ain't got. Yeah, he ain't got much.
But yeah, so you can talk to the barkeep. You can. What do you guys want to do?
Before that happens, Zag notices him. He says, "It's not a challenge, huh?" Takes
What?
his shirt, rips it off. Well, no, he takes it off. It's only got one of these.
Zag does not have a six pack. Zag has a
Zag
12
is
pack.
fit. Yes, he does. Don't
Zag
you
does
know?
not.
Yes,
Zag-
he does.
Well, I mean, okay. Well,
I run for a living, and I'm a monk.
As soon as he rips the shirt off, Abdul takes a cover piece and throws it to him and walks to the barmaid.
Start flexing.
as I was saying, Zag does not have a six pack. Zag has a 12 pack. Zag's pecs have pecs.
We got baby pecs inside.
Yeah, he's like Space Jam with Mike's special stuff, and the muscles grow muscles. That's pretty much. This man is cut for a goblin. This man is cut.
Pick up the copper.
There is a young girl who is looking at this whole scene play out, and she faints. Um,
Oh man,
Happens.
and
this guy.
Do a medicine check on her, make sure she's okay, and brings her back to her senses. Just kidding.
Abdul, you approach the barkeep, who is a male. He is probably in his 50s, got kind of salt and pepper hair. You notice
She's single?
you know you notice that
Oh my.
he has kind of a patchy beard, a bit unkempt, um, but
Abdul.
he has long hair that is pulled tight in a ponytail, um, and
Wait. Are you sure it's a ponytail and not a man bun?
ponytail. Yes, I am sure. He has tied his hair back so as not to get it in the food or get it in his way. It is not for style. It is more for utility.
Abdul does a
Functionality.
medicine check on Dr. Eid after she fainted.
Her heart rate is
And
elevated.
the person who fainted was Doctor. Just
Oh.
kidding.
Hello, my friend. My name is Abdul. What is your name?
I have a name. Give me one
My
second.
name is
Oh.
Abdul Halim Al Bashir, my friend. What's I can't hear you. What is your name? Speak up, man.
Doug. My name is Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Like a dog.
Imagine a scene.
What's up, dog?
Abdul walks up to the bar, and Zag's just still in the background, just flexing. He asks the question. He's just.
Scanlan style.
Uh,
That's
scan man.
Boom, bang, firepower.
Oh wait, is there weapons allowed in here? Because I brought some guns.
Thomas
Like
is
a
my name.
flintlock pistol.
Thomas, nice to meet you,
nice.
Thomas. We are looking for some friends of ours that is should be here. The two dwarves, not them gentlemen over there, but more noble type men.
Well, you've certainly come to the right place. I pretty much know everybody in town, but those are our local dwarf hunter friends.
They'll
I
be coming
don't
from
know
out
any
of town.
out of town. Well, I haven't seen any dwarf visitors in a while, but you could try the docks.
Maybe we beat. Oh, that's. Thank you, thank you. What? We'd go try the docks. What? Does anyone else want to add to this? It's open. I feel like I'm doing all the talking. Um,
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was flexing. What was your name again?
it's
It's
Thomas.
Thomas.
Thomas. You wouldn't happen to know if ever heard of the Goblin Courier Service?
Yeah, we get a few of them in here every once in a while, but Swamp View isn't exactly the bustling city it once was.
What's happened to it? It doesn't look like
Mistake.
it's
Mistake happened to it. Swamp View was the gateway to Riston. Everybody coming in from the south that wanted to, instead of going through, Port Calais, you have to stop at Port Calais, but instead of going through Almara and Riverhold and Reezy, Ravenwood, Rio Drid, they'd come straight here. They could go from here up the coast, up the Ember coast, and right into Vigo. This was a hot place for trade and traffic. Well, 12 years ago or so. Soon as Miss Day happened, we lost a lot of trade. We lost the Ember Coast, thanks to the Dreadlands. But who knows? I hear actually from the Goblin Courier Service. He points at Zag. Last courier that came through here, buddy of mine, he told me that there's a plan Lady Violet has in place to take back the dual towers. Well, if they actually could pull it off, That means more trade. This town can actually be booming again.
That's
Yes,
actually why we're here.
they actually hired some smokes, and then when he says, "Yes, we actually, yes." What would that really like just the dual towers really help this town?
Well, quite frankly, the Ember Coast and the Ember Forest isn't safe anymore. Well, it's never been exactly safe, but it isn't safe for travel up the coastline anymore. Even ships, people say that even the fishermen, they say that there's something big in the waters out there. Some fishermen don't want to go into the Gulf.
Interesting.
How big
Have
you
you?
think? My bad. Go ahead. No,
No.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Do you know anybody who's seen this firsthand?
Well, you could talk to any of the dock workers.
Well, the
The
fisherman.
yeah, the fishermen. News travels fast, but you know how the fishermen type are. Rainy day like today, they're out on the water.
Well, I was thinking they're also fishermen. Are their stories actual size?
He just grins.
Hmm. Um, we if maybe I don't know, but maybe we see our friends if their friends are here, or if they're not. If we're still waiting for them, maybe we beat them. Maybe we can provide the service to you guys to take care of this scaly creature. Of course, we're
Good
paying.
luck with
Ooh.
that.
What are you getting us into, Abdul?
Nothing.
Yet.
I feel
It's a
like it
fisherman story.
could
How
be
big could
something.
it possibly be?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's just the fish, I mean, like, it's just a fish.
What did you say, Don? I'm
Uh,
sorry, I didn't say.
Just that it could be something interesting if we have time, of course.
Mm-hmm.
well,
Well, and if
while this is
you
all going
pay
on,
enough, that is, because there's been a lot of travel and a lot of inns, and it's really hurt our coin purse.
You mean
Well,
my coin purse? My coin
I
purse.
wouldn't be the one paying for sure, but I'm sure the Fishermen's Guild, they'd probably pay you to take care of it. There is a small guild in town. You could ask them about it.
Like a fisherman's guild, or.
Yes, that's what he just said.
Can't hurt
Fishermen's
to
Guild.
Oh,
inquire.
interesting.
Or, because we all peep the guys over there are like hunters, right?
Yes. Yeah, the barkeep kind of looks over him. Yeah, they go out into the Ember Forest. Um, there's a couple of troops that go out there. A couple of hunting parties that go in there, but nobody goes too far. Ember Forest is full of life, but pretty dangerous. Easy to get lost. They probably wouldn't know anything about the big fish, but I mean, you're welcome to ask. Now, is there anything that I can get for you? Or
Uh, Potentially, I looked at on a room, but we have to find our friends, maybe, and
I
I looked at.
understand. Well, if you need a place to come in and dry off, my door is always open.
um, while this is all going on, I was gonna have Uriah just kind of sitting down at our table. And is the bard like playing music?
Yeah, the bard is playing music. Yep.
Uriah would take out his flute and he would just kind of like match the harmony. He wouldn't be playing as loud, just kind of like to himself and like to like just like the table. But he'd be trying to like practice the flute and like try and match the harmony and whatnot.
Okay. Give me a performance check just for giggles.
Performance. Yeah. Dang.
Nah, you got it. You got it.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. It was just a 15. It was a 15 flat check. So, give yourself a hero point. As you play the flute and think back of Jakas, um, of the flute, you feel a chill, and you hear a voice.
Music can't save you. Not if you continue on this path. Don't do it, Huxley. I'm warning you.
You just hear it kind of on the wind as you get this chill. And you think back to Jakas's words. Music heals the heart, mends the mind, and soothes the soul as it is etched onto your flute.
So to the docks then to see if our dwarven friends are there, and then if not, perhaps to this fisherman's guild to see what this monster thing is all about.
Uh, yes. We could you could do that and communicate with the guy
Hmm.
to see if he already picked them up or not.
Well, if he's already picked them up, then our journey
good.
here is kind of
But knows the time climb. Listen, I just don't really want to go out in the rain again. But I will. I put everything back on.
Is it, what time is it?
You literally got up, traveled 3 hours, and got to town. So I mean, it's still morning.
Yeah, but I like Abdul wants Jesse wants to go, but like Abdul's just.
I'll sit down at the table Uriah's at, kind of lean forward, tapping the network, and see how Captain where he's at.
Again, you get this kind of this sense that your whole body is being jostled as you connect into all of these whispers here, whispers there, of varying degrees of importance and volume. There are some whispers that sound like this, and there's some whispers you can just barely make out what they're saying. And you hear all of these different whispers, but you are focusing on a person, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no will save needed. You focus right in on that person, and you come into that person, and they are not currently connected to the network, but you can call to them basically.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
You want to try that?
yeah.
You, in essence, you send a message.
Mhm.
You send a sending stone type deal. And a moment passes, and then you hear, "Hello, Don. Nice to be talking to you again. What do you want?"
Hey, you had mentioned, of course, you were supposed to go to Swamp View and pick up a couple of dwarves or so.
Yes.
That hasn't already happened, has it?
No.
And just to
Why? What is going on?
just
I know how your little fiendish brain thinks.
I'm just making sure they're friends of ours. It was going to Farpoint, right?
Are you in Swampview right now?
What
Are
would
you
make
trying
you
to get
think
on my
that?
boat? Are you trying to get on my boat right now? I'm not even joking. This is ridiculous. I just docked.
In Swamp View,
Yes.
disconnect.
Come on down. I would like to see your face.
Disconnect
I
as soon as he
suppose.
says yes. Don't even let him finish. Just out of there.
Come on down. I would like to. uh, somewhere else on the deck of his ship, he is continuing saying stuff about how you're gonna owe him so much for this, and how
So
he can't.
what did you
Well,
What?
the ship just docked. I don't think he said that they're here yet. So perhaps we still have time, but you should go meet the captain, of course. I don't think you have. Any of you three?
Captain,
Yes.
you mean like
Of a ship.
On the water, Captain? Like of a ship?
Yes.
Like on the ocean?
Uh huh. How we're
Like,
getting to Far Point.
huh?
You thought. I know you're.
Don had Zach hasn't put it together yet.
I know you're good
That's
at
how we getting there?
running and all. I'm sure you can run on the ship a little bit. But yes, we are taking a ship to Far
The
Point.
ship's not big enough.
It's an alright size, I'd say. Captain has a decent ship.
Above average.
Zach gets in your face. He points at you. Zach, I run fast. I mean, like, really fast. Like, 45 feet of movement per round.
That
Per
just sounds
action.
like more
Fast.
laps to me.
Huh?
That just sounds like more laps to me.
But I need freedom, Don. I can't be attached to one spot. How long is the trip?
I don't know. We have to go see the captain.
Yeah, I think the captain would be good on answering that.
Alright. To this miserable weather.
But a boat?
Zag's gonna be like Sonic and Sonic X when they're on that cruise and he keeps jumping to see if he can get to land.
Abdul is going to. Abdul doesn't really have a raincoat per se. He only has a sleeveless coat that he has like a sleeveless shirt.
That's
it.
right. You never had anything
I don't
covering.
have no
I
sleeves
forgot
or
about
nothing.
that. I forgot about that. My bad.
So when like I'm like this, Abdul uses the kafia as like a scarf. You know what I mean?
You notice as you're putting on your cloak, there is a raincoat like on the hook right next
I
to
could
it.
grab your coat for you if you'd like, Abdul.
Abdul goes, "No, I got it here. You're good." And swinging around, put it on.
Roll a thievery check.
Thievery.
Well, I guess it would be deception. It would be deception. I'm sorry. Okay, so you put this
Now,
cloak on.
this cloak is just a long cloak, just like a raincoat, but
It
a
is
trench
like
coat.
it is a canvas cloak that has been waxed. So it is thick and heavy. Immediately after putting it on, you're gonna get, if you're wearing this, you get a negative to all of your athletics or acrobatics checks. To do anything if you're wearing it.
What?
It's bulky, it's weird, and it does not flow right.
Check the pockets.
Abdul's not used to it. You check the pockets. You find 7 gold in the pockets.
Speaking of coats, taking a quick look at the coat rack, did Abdul pick perhaps the fanciest looking coat there was up there?
They're all look like the one that Abdul has. Like there's just so many. It seems like the locals have like raincoats that they
So Abdul's was a
make
standout.
here. Yeah, it doesn't stand out.
I also find some lint.
Yes.
Fair enough then.
Abdul, does it have a hood? It has a hood, of course.
Yeah, of course it has a hood. And it's
the
like
hood
one
up.
of these big like triangle hoods that come
Yeah.
way down to the shoulders.
Oh,
Right.
that's what I'm talking about.
You took Don's idea. Don's gonna go grab your coat and sneak in the two next to and see what he can find.
Go ahead and roll a thievery check.
Well, no, there's no reason for him to go over there now. He doesn't have a coat hanging.
Oh,
That's why he was gonna go
just-
grab Abdul's, and when he went to go grab Abdul's, kind of feel left and right, see if there was anything in him, but we're good.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
Go get a
okay.
coat.
I'm not buying a coat. I have my hood.
You have a raincoat.
It's my hood. It's gonna get wet. I don't know what it'll do to it.
Raincoat. This is built for rain, my dude.
Rain schmane, I'm not a
Alright.
cat.
All right. Where are you headed?
To
Captain.
To the
The
docks.
docks.
Okay. Oops, that's not the right. Yeah, that's the right one. As you enter the docking area, you catch 3 ships anchored in the bay, one of which you recognize. You traverse the streets of the waterfront and spill out onto the dock proper, where you find a few familiar-looking faces in the crowd. Ahoy there! A charming voice of Nabarath calls to you. He waves from the docking area of a small dinghy about 150 feet from you. And he's hand up, waving in the air, trying to get your attention. You see several ship hands that are loading and unloading cargo. Sirius 6, over here, he calls. As you approach, you notice several characters awaiting cargo to be loaded. You notice a portly male human merchant of some kind. Short blonde hair adorned with jewels and gems that are tucked away. He seemingly tried to hide them in this kind of weird swamp view, this kind of weird town. So you can see he's trying to kind of keep a low profile. Has one of these thick raincoats like Abdul just stole. And he's trying to hide up, but you can see he's kind of a heavy set guy, and he's trying to tuck these jewels away. You see a modestly dressed human couple that are trying to stay dry. They do not have one of these thicker raincoats, neither one of them. They exude a quiet togetherness and a humble amount of wealth. Don, you recognize something special about them. You recognize that they are Stellian.
Mm.
Perhaps they are minor nobility, or they're also merchants. You see a small gnomish man who is just loud and proud, bright blue hair, no raincoat, soaking wet, and you can see soot on his face and on his body that is just kind of running from the rain that is coming. You can see his arms and his hands specifically are covered in burns. And then you see a very neat-looking man. Finally, as you end your approach, as you're looking up and down all of these characters, you see a very neat-looking man with dark hair slicked back and deep pools for eyes, and a knowing smile you easily recognize. There's some familiar faces. What a pleasure seeing you again, Cassius chuckles as he rests a hand on his rapier. What brings you to Swampview? They're with us, Cassius, Nabreth offers, stepping down the dock. And I see you know my new friend Cassius here. I'm familiar with his contemporaries in the conclave, so it's always nice to meet a new member. Cassius smirks. Well, technically, I have been a member for some time now, but it's always good to know a member of the dwarven nobility as well. You never know when you need a strong arm. Nabrath's beard parts, giving way to his toothy smile. On that note, where is your other dwarven friend? Cassius looks at you guys, and he pauses. The archer with the strange beast? The man with one arm? Don, did you and Uriah, did you start traveling with a new party?
We've had Falco, the Rager, and Bezek had to go on a bit of their own journey, per se.
Oh, heavens, that's scary. For a second there, I thought that perhaps they had suffered an ill fate. And the fellow with one hand. Was it James Jones?
Johnny.
Johnny. That's it.
A little not too loud, of course. He also had his got hung up in a town, had to go our separate ways.
Cash just kind of takes a moment, again rests his hand on his rapier and kind of ponders for a second. Nabrath's smile melts into a stern look as he looks at you. This won't affect your ability to parlay with my kin, will it?
He wasn't a talker much, as you know. Don't worry. I believe Don, it's in Don's hands. He can take care of all of these.
I'm sure it's in all of our hands. We are a team, a group after all.
Cassius spots the well-dressed Dr. Reed, and he kind of looks out and around you, and he goes, "Ah, well, it looks like you're definitely traveling with much better-looking members this time." And he reaches his hand out to Dr. Reed, and he goes, "I am Cassius Crumb, investigator, member of the Crimson Conclave." And he reaches to take your hand to take it and basically to kiss it to do like this honorable noble thing. Yeah.
Well, you're too kind, Mr. Crumb. My name is Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure meeting you.
A doctor, not just a pretty face. He takes your hand and kisses it and kind of does this like bow. You notice he's got this shiny rapier on his hilt, and he's a bit he's a talker. He's good at talking. He's got a silver tongue for sure.
And I'm Zag.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you as well, Mr. Zag. And you're high fiving him.
No, I'm like, oh.
He takes it and he takes your hand like this and he shakes it. And then he looks over to Abdul and he goes. He just like shakes your hand. Abdul's kind of just with the hood up. The hood's still up, yes?
Yeah. Abdul goes, it's always good to know an investigator. The name's Abdul.
He shakes your hand and he goes, I can't place your accent. Is that Jahadian or Kufuan?
I believe it was Kafuan.
Up
I
to
don't
you.
think I actually never said that. Which one do we start on? What side?
You started on the Kufuan side. I'm sorry, you started on the Jahadian side.
Yeah, Kafuan.
You're Kufuan. Okay.
It's, I believe I picked it up from, being around the Kafuans.
Ah, yes. Now I hear it.
Yeah,
Well, it's a
it-
pleasure, Mr. Abdul.
Pleasure's all mine.
Well, parlaying with the dwarven nobility, it certainly sounds like an adventure. He smirks back to Don and Uriah, and he goes, that reminds me, how is dear Molly?
Doing fine. Last we talked in Vigo with her.
Very good. I managed to get to Vigo before you, you know, and I told Lady Violet to expect her daughter soon, but unfortunately I was pulled away quickly on another mission and I couldn't stay and join the festivities. Actually, now that I think of it, adventures and the Serious Six, I could use the help of a few heroes while we're in town. Are you interested?
Well, we have a lot to do. We have fishermen. But, I don't know the party.
Depending on, I guess, our time schedule. We might,
Well,
we may.
Abdul doesn't really say that like, oh, no. Abdul just, like, next to Don says, we have the, fishermen, but it's, up to you. And Abdul takes a step back.
We'll just have to see how everything goes, of course, when departure is and all that good stuff.
Nabrath kind of looks over to you and goes, well, the captain tells me it's going to be a few hours before we're ready to go. I just came back ashore to check out the pub. I'm sure you have time to run an errand for my new friend Cassius here. He chuckles as he slaps a weighty hand, dwarven hand on Cassius' back. Cassius coughs. Quite, he groans. It shouldn't take long with, all of us. And it seems your new friends could join us as well. Bring them along. I'll take all the help I can get.
Terrific.
Well, knowing what you do, perhaps we might be after the same goal. What is it?
It's It's possible. He looks over to the, like, kind of out of the corner of his eye to the other, the dock workers kind of loading right near you, and then the other people kind of waiting to get onto the dinghy. And they're kind of all huddled up against, like, under this, like, little shack that's kind of keeping them out of the rain. Nabrath has already walked through the crowd and is going back the way you came, and he calls from behind, from over his shoulder, "Have fun!" He chuckles. "I'll make sure the ship doesn't leave without you. As soon as I get a drink," he mutters as he
Huh.
trots off toward the town common.
So, what is it you have?
Perhaps it's best, let's continue this conversation over this way. And he
As long as everyone's okay with that?
I'm dual phones.
Zag, Uriah, do you two have anything else planned? Dr. Reed also?
Well, I really want to get my nails done, but I
Excuse
guess
me.
we have time.
I'm sure they'd wash right off anyways, but
mm,
Nails done. Where do you think we are?
Yeah, I can't have them sharp, or I can't make a fist, or it just stabs myself.
I mean, he's actually not wrong.
You guys follow Cassius around the corner, and Cassius's charming smile turns into a more somber, stern look. Um, so, actually, my mission that I got, he says, kind of crossing his arms and drumming his fingers. Mission that I got in Vigo relates to something that happened actually when I first met you. The you remember that ordeal with the mayor syndicate kidnapping people, people like you, Don, people like me, Lorcan.
mhm.
He looks to the rest of your group and he goes. You see, he kind of weighs something as he looks to the rest of you, and then shakes. And as he shakes, he is not like Don. He is not half Lorcan. He is full on Stellian. As he shakes, you can see his skin shifts and becomes very fair skinned. His eyes glow like a bright blue color, and his hair shimmers into a still black, but it's more like an indigo black, like it has almost like a blue or violet hue to it as it goes. And his ears turn from human to pointed as his features melt away, his hidden features melt away and now come to light.
That's a
I'm
neat party trick.
yes. I am do any of you know, I assume you travel with Don, you should know a bit about Lorcan. Do any of you
Law who?
Lorcan? I am
Uh-huh.
a full-blooded Lorcan. It's what we call ourselves. The elves that came to Coldra Minor years ago. Not the ones, not the ones up in Tyrann of Valoran. Not the high elves that just came over on Mist Day. We're talking about elves that came over hundreds of years ago.
Oh,
We were given the ability to hide amongst the human populace, to shape our features. The problem is this ability is not genetic. Um, or rather, it is genetic, but only with with two full-blooded parents. Someone like Don, not to not to poke a touchy subject, but someone like Don is obviously half Lorcan. Um, a Lorcan can be anything from, well, the Nabrath and Mulder are technically Lorcan from Dwarkon City. That's what they call themselves. The Dwarkon dwarves were Lorcan. Um, there are halfling. There's a whole tribe of halflings called the Leetless tribe. They are Lorcan. Um, there are plenty of races from Cauldra Prime that came over once upon a time and were given this ability to hide in plain sight. The Crimson I'm sorry, say again?
Oh, I said that's interesting.
Oh. The Crimson Conclave was formed in order to stop the Lorcan who were using this ability. I won't necessarily say to their advantage, because we all use it to our advantage. But for lack of a better term, for evil. Um, Using this ability, doing evil things, and then blaming it on humans. As you can see, Stellian, our features are very similar. And he shakes again and he turns back to human. And you can see that Stellian Cassius and human Cassius look very similar. But that's not the case for instance, for a halfling or for a dwarf or a number of races. In essence, they have two different identities, and this is troubling. They could commit a crime as one identity and then shapeshift and spend the rest of their life guilt-free.
Could a goblin be a Larkin?
I'm not sure if goblins were ever came over at that time. You'd have to do some research. Well, if you're headed to Freeport, Quera is the perfect place to do research on that.
Ooh.
Shane, I'm gonna tell Shane this. The library in Quera, the Chaosian library, would probably have that information. That is meta knowledge, but write that down, because Cassius would tell you if you want to learn more about that. You certainly could go to the Chaosian library.
I've heard
and
that
find out
library
about
has a fancy dome at the top of it.
that. It does.
Multiple have been
Very
distracted
much.
by it
I have an
before.
affinity for libraries.
Well, you'd love the one in the Chaosian Library in Quera. When Quera was sacked 10 years ago, it was the only library left standing, and
Who sacked Clara?
that would be the mayor's circuit when it first started.
Well, you sure it was them? Maybe it was like misunderstood or something.
No, Lance Mayer ran through the streets shouting, "I am sacking Quera."
With him and his boyfriend.
That's so stupid.
I mean, granted, he could have been like under the influence, because you know they like to drink and stuff. It could have
No,
been.
he said, "I have never been more sober than this moment. Give me all of your gold."
No, that's fair. No, that's pretty solid. No, he's kind of a jerk.
We have him on video. We have YouTubes, Instagrams, and TikToks. This ain't no Snapchat where it might be there or it might not be there.
Oh, just like he's, I'm a goblin, and people think, well, I'm gonna steal their stuff and like kill them and their babies, but like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? So.
Well, the Egg Snatcher clan is a bit of a curiosity.
I'm
to
not
be
one of
honest.
them anyway, so I don't know.
Interesting. Kind of gets down on your level and he looks at you in the eyes.
What?
Your eyes. You're not a typical goblin.
That makes it.
Tell that up from my eyes?
Sure. Come, look. You see, his eyes are orange, yellow. The goblins that are nefarious typically have these deep blood red eyes. And then there are goblins such as your friend, he motions to Don and Uriah, such as your friend from the docks that day, that almost have bright golden eyes.
And what do those eyes typically indicate?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Something different.
Something
First time
special,
I'm hearing of it.
perhaps.
Say again, Don.
Something special, perhaps.
Something special indeed. I don't mean to be stereotypical, Mr. Zag, but people are afraid of goblins because most goblins do bad things.
No, no, I understand. Trust.
Those goblins that do bad things, people have, at least here in Riston, have come to respect that those goblins are the deep blood red-eyed goblins. But the Goblin Courier Service, you'll notice, has more of orange or even yellow eyes. Some of them I have seen with even bright gold eyes. It's curious because there's not a whole lot of information on goblins. And as a man of science myself, I'm uh, interested in understanding why this phenomenon occurs.
Well, I wonder if
Abdul
Pops knew that.
in the background um would say let me know if this is stretching, okay? Because coming from where Abdul's from, okay, they Lorcan's never really hit.
Correct.
Would that ability be not used because uh uh I'm saying because it was forced of using the ability. Now they rely on that ability. Now they can. You know what I mean?
So, um,
I don't know if
in
that's true or not.
in Khufu, they
Yeah.
have ways to see through the illusion because people were doing exactly what Cassius says people are doing now. They're committing crimes as one form and then switching forms. And that has always been a problem in Khufu and in Al Jihad. And I'll say, actually, I didn't mean to say that. Al Jihad have a way of seeing through it.
Okay.
Khufu, the Lorcan, kind of like their culture, the Lorcan dominate the culture. Um, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. They are high society.
Yeah.
Um,
This is like going to the suburbs and seeing that one black family with a bunch of white families, but they all act the same.
Huh.
no,
No? Ah,
no,
never mind. Never mind.
no, no,
Never mind.
no. Now my brain hurts.
That terrible disappointment.
Not
I'm
terrible.
joking.
Wow, I mean, like, that's my life. That's my life.
Um, so, uh, Cassius kind of shakes his head. I digress. I'm getting off subject. Um, my mission was to look into the disappearance of more and more Lorcan. And Lorcan have been being captured, been sold into slavery more and more often. And up until about 4 months ago, in fact, just before, I want to say about 2 weeks before you and I met, Don, um, people were disappearing from all over who had the chicane. Now, I know that's a touchy subject even here in Riston. This is part of the Dominion, and the Dominion, anybody who has the chicane, the Dominion law is that they go to Anton and be trained. But this was weird. People were being abducted before they even knew they had this ability. It was as if someone knew all of the people in the entire Dominion who had the chicane or had the possibility to get the chicane. And then suddenly it just stopped. And then people were abducting Lorcan. I don't know what it is about kidnappings I know you've probably had your share of them, Don, Uriah, especially after the ordeal that we went through. But I have tracked. I have tracked the seller of said slaves here to Swampview. There is a deal going on, and I would like your help in apprehending the seller and the buyer. And of course, freeing these people, these Lorcan.
Are you guys telling me those stories were true?
I don't know if they would say those stories.
I mean, if it sounds right to everyone, I think, at least me personally, I want to help. This is.
You're gonna just ignore me. You're gonna answer my question.
I will ignore you, Zach. It's a touchy subject, and I'd.
Guys are so cool.
You can see you can see like I'm imagining like Don like specifically like hardening. Is that what you're trying like Don specifically when he's thinking about Portadrag and like
Him
these memories
mentioning
come back to you?
suddenly the kidnapping stopped, Dawn's mind would instantly think the papers we were transporting. Of course, that's why they stopped. They got out of those hands, we dumped them, and then they are in potentially new hands, which we at least know has potentially stopped it. And he would, if he got the chance, would mention that to Uriah through message, but not in the circumstances. Maybe a little later.
Um so just so that you understand the timeline, about roughly 2 weeks before you and Cassius met, suddenly Lorcan, the systematic stealing of abducting of people who had the chicane stopped, and it was just Lorcan. Now it has ramped up of Lorcan, and at this point in time, it's only Lorcan. It's only Lorcan that are being abducted. Just so that everybody is aware of that.
Is Dawn kind of in the right thinking around that right time frame that maybe it was that paper transfer and then
You are you're fairly confident that that's what it is.
okay, and in Dawn's mind
You're
it's
fairly.
Lorcans are easier
I
to
would say
find.
you're something between 80 and 90% sure that is exactly what it is.
Abdul is going to say, back where I'm from, there's, they have ways of finding Lorcan, of seeing through them. What if your seller or the people you're looking for has that?
That is interesting. A Khufuan connection. I hadn't thought of that before. You say that your people have a way of seeing through Lorcan?
Yes, I don't know how much. Yes, it's this.
Well, that's interesting. I still would like help for this specifically, but I may know who to talk to about that. There is this fellow in Porticale who has a shop. Uh, that is, he's actually Al Jihadian, but he knows a lot. He's a friend of mine. Um,
Look forward to meeting him.
we could go there next. I could go there next. I'm not assuming that you will follow this all the way to the end, but for right now, I know that you have your own tasks, but I mean, well, you do have to wait a few hours for the captain to get ready, and I sure could use the help.
Well, what do you say? They should maybe show interest since this could be used for nefarious means.
Well, you're the full package, are you not?
Yes.
A pretty face, smart mind, and courageous. You see, he kind of like lifts an eyebrow and gives you a charming smile.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It makes you feel a bit uncomfortable.
Yes. The discomfort is strong.
Abdul's quiet. Abdul's not going to say yes or no.
Hmm.
He's waiting for Uriah to speak, who hasn't spoken that much. And then Zach to give his opinion.
You got my what?
Yes or no?
Opinion. You're gonna save some innocent people who were kidnapped.
Uriah, you want to answer first? Go ahead, buddy. Can't hear you.
You're somehow
Yeah,
making no
Can't hear you.
noise.
your mic is on the wrong thing, I think.
It's on the laptop.
Your mic's on the laptop, not your headset.
What?
Yeah, you're
Don't
muffled right
what
now.
us. You literally
Super
switched
muffled.
it.
That's impossible. It says headphones.
There you
Oh,
go. We
well.
can hear you
Never
Now
can
it's
hear
good.
you.
Then speak louder.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you're real quiet. You're real muffled.
Hold on, let me try something.
Tap on the headset mic just to make sure.
How about now?
Oh,
Much
Lord.
Uh huh.
Night
Huh.
and day difference.
Your
There we go.
input was down, wasn't it?
God?
Yeah. The input was down.
Hey God, it's me again.
Oh.
All right, Uriah. What say ye?
What say ye, lad?
I don't want to help more kidnapped people.
Wow, selfish, dude.
Yeah. I guess we should probably go save them, eh? Since we're kind of like, look over it down, since we're kind of experts in the field of kidnappings.
Just comes with the business, I guess.
Did no one ever teach them about weirdo, stay away-o?
Oh, I
What?
know. Up in Anton, it was more of a stranger danger kind of thing. We taught the young ones and so on.
Well,
But
that sounds kind of weird. Has a neat, weird ring to it. I think mine's kind of better, but yeah, sure.
Mr. Zag, what say ye?
I am, well, the rumors of the courier services, as you all know, the courier service deals in a lot of information. There were rumors that you guys did stop that, but no pure evidence was confirmed. But I mean, if I get to be a part of that and I help y'all stop this, I think Pops would be pretty darn proud of me. I say yeah. I say we do it.
And Mr. Abdul.
Abdul folds his hands, pulls his eyes that you guys don't see, and goes, "Sure, let's be heroes, I guess.
It's
Don't
settled
die
then.
doing so."
It's settled then. I assure you, this will
What
not.
about the payment, though?
Um, you can have anything that they have on their person.
Okay. Coming from
Anything?
a lawman, that's,
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say lawman. I'm an investigator by trade. Lawman is a bit crude, I think. Uh, he clasps his hands as in the drizzling rain. As you guys are kind of under this like awning, I guess you could say. He clasps his hands and rubs them together, and he goes, "Okay, this is going to be so much fun. I assure you, there is absolutely nothing that could go wrong." And that's where we're going
Oh,
to end tonight's episode.
you just had to say it.
Uh,
Wow.
oh, actually, I don't want that.
we just
Pretty
can't
cool
miss
session,
our boat.
guys.
That was really cool.
yeah.
Nice little session.
Oh, yeah, hold on, I got something. I haven't done one
It's
all.
dead.
It's dead, Jim.
This is us. Um, this is us trying to make the boat.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That our music has our regular music has died.
Nice.
I still hear it.
No,
It's
I
on
I
Vixera.
triggered
You
a
switched
different
over a different bot.
Let me try this, and then let me try.
What we almost saw.
Wow.
We could have saw.
What we
We
couldn't
should have saw.
envision.
Nope, it's done. It's dead, Jim.
What we didn't think.
What we couldn't possibly
I
fathom.
know that honestly needs to exist.
uh,
There we are.
well, this one's the how you train the dragon. That's what I think about
I'm
every time.
working on this. There we are.
Man, I need that as pre-stream music.
That's what I
Dude.
usually do.
Well, I mean, like, as I'm on the starting screen. Like, before we actually unmute and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we can play that. After stream, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
What you don't see,
Fairies.
what none of your characters would witness, know about, or even possibly comprehend, is a man on a ship rustling through papers behind a desk. He moves papers around his desk and begins looking at names on a list. Uriah Huxley. I know that. Reaches down and instinctively puts his hand on his pistol. Flash of a memory in the rain. Anger, pride. It was self-defense. Almost like a dream. Did he shoot? How did he get here? He begins to look around. Where am I? Looks down, and the necklace on his chest, a large blue gem, faint glow, recedes. Huxley. Doom. Back in the papers. Names. List of names. Pushes them together. And there's a small chest near his desk. Pushes them kind of together and looks at that through them. He hears a knock on the door. He doesn't know, but there's some feeling inside of him, almost like a spider sense, a sixth sense that tells him, hide the list. Boom, he puts the list together, puts it in the box, and with his foot, his boot, he picks the heel of his boot up and taps on the lid of the box. The lid closes just as the door opens. Captain. Do we have a heading? Wants to say he doesn't know. He wants to say he's been having blackouts. He wants to say he's scared. But Lance Mayer stands up, puts a smug look on his face, and goes, I'm the captain, aren't I? It's out the room. That's what you don't see.
Well, well, well.
Oh, 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 oh. Get it.
Mufasa.
Oh.
All right.
Good stuff.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank
That's
you
right.
for joining us
That's,
tonight
that's
on
right.
another
Thank
episode
all
of
for watching. Yes, another
Pick up battle of history.
episode. Thank you all for watching. We had a lot of fun. Hopefully you did too. If you did, go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, and or become a fanatic. The choice is entirely up to you. Again, the stream is meant for more of an archive, but who knows? Maybe we are halfway entertaining and you liked it just a little bit. To all of you watching, thank you again, and to our future selves, are you still tired? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Good night.
Yo.
Bye.
Bye.